Hello, everyone. On the interweb.
Hello! Shadows of Gradiriel, we're back at that. Yeah.
Yes, what Ryan said. Um, Once again, this is, of course, session 3 of Shadows of Gradiriel, and I am once again joined with my lovely players. Hello, say hello, Ryan.
Hello! We're gonna die, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the Dungeon Master has planned, so I'm just gonna default to we're all gonna die, because that's a safe bet in Dungeons and Dragons.
Let's hope not. Um, I tried to make the potential goblin camp that you're going to be visiting make sense, and not necessarily have it be such a high-level encounter that all of you die. So, um,
That's if we decide to attack it.
yeah, which you might. But anyway, um, so, uh, as Sam mentioned.
Hi, by the way.
Oh yes, hi. This is our other lovely player, Sam. Hello, Sam.
I just sit here in a corner, just thinking of murdering thoughts of my character.
Thoughts?
I think I'll have Sam say what happened last time because that seems like it'd be fun.
Okay, so there was a missing dog. We went looking for a missing dog.
I forgot about that.
Met a lovely lady butcher that happens to be an ogre.
Some very serious quotation marks around
No,
that.
not
Very
ogre.
nice.
Orc.
Orc.
Straight up
Yes,
orc.
orc.
We rescued a dog from a tree. We didn't know how the dog got into the tree. And then we noticed there was some magic shit going on. So we went to go look, and we found a harpy, which was the cause for the dog in the tree. And a bugbear. And bugbear turns out to be magical, hobgoblin. The harpy flew away, so we're kind of screwed there. And then we interrogated the hobgoblin before Riven cut off his head.
Like you do.
Because, she hates them.
Yep, as you do.
And then we decided, because from the interrogation we found out there's a camp to the north. And so we all decided we're going to go trek up to the camp. So right now we are sitting in the building and everyone's getting a nice rest before they leave.
Yes. Also, and then amongst that, since the hobgoblin was magical, hobgoblin had a wizard spellbook, and it was written in.
To keep him, even though we can't use.
It was written in Goblin, so you couldn't do anything with it. But you took it back to Oak's home because Oak's mother, who in a side moment of dialogue, you heard her name as Leanne. Leanne is actually capable of using the spell Comprehend Languages, and it allowed her to read the book to see that it was in fact a wizard spellbook. I don't think it was established whether or not you kept the book at that point. I can't remember.
No, we still have it. Just because.
I mean, I remember you gave it to Leanne for her to realize was a wizard spellbook, and I think she gave it back to Oak or gave it back to Riven or Locke. I don't remember.
Yeah, someone has a book. I have it written down in my inventory, so.
Yeah, we'll say it went back to Riven because she wanted to hold on to it because of goblins. And then you took a rest because the hobgoblin fight took a decent chunk out of you, at least as far as spells is concerned. And Locke wanted to get his spells back. And Riven is, of course, very antsy to want to go off and attack the goblin camp.
No, so you pretty much just sum up. She's sitting by the door, just having like a very quiet conversation of debating whether or not she should just leave them. But there's a cleric that could be helpful, because I don't want to die. But then again, just gonna wait here and just.
Hey, Riven. You say you're near the door?
Yes, just sitting on like a stool or chair or whatever, and just like kind of leaning against the wall next to the door.
If I recall correctly, we said that,
Please don't open the door. Just bang.
if I recall correctly, we said that this house right here, closest by, was where, said butcher and dog and kid.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Live there.
That's what I thought. So, yeah. Give me a perception check, Riven.
Is the door open?
I
mean, our door?
the door you're sitting at to is not open, but it's like thatch and cloth, and you could easily hear and or see and or smell things that are nearby because of where you're at.
If I roll badly,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna get hit with the door. 12.
Okay. You hear, you hear nearby, just vaguely, because it's a somewhat distance away and you didn't do, like, super good on the perception. But you hear, like, the sound of something being, like, struck, like, on a table or a counter of some sort. And there's the vague smell of something nearby that is cooking.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
She didn't cook the dog, did she?
No, it's her dog. Of course she wouldn't do that, duh.
I don't know.
The kid loves the dog. She wouldn't do that to her kid.
Yeah, really.
She's an orc.
And so's her kid. And that kid has seen some shit. Do you remember his scars?
Good point.
This
Also-
is a kid who I am convinced will one day grow up to seduce a dragon and then kill it in its sleep because he is that badass.
Sure. So that is what Riven is doing. Locke,
And
you're
so
just
I'm
sort
just
of...
in here hearing this chopping sound.
Hmm?
And smell of food, and I don't know if whether or not I should be slightly disturbed or just leave it be.
Well, yeah, and Locke's just kind of sitting around waiting for spell slots to come back. Has it been like the full short resting? I got my things back yet?
Oh, yeah. You're getting pretty close to that. Just sort of resting and sitting around. Are you looking in your book, or what are you doing to actually rest, exactly?
Yeah, I'm just sitting and, not exerting myself and occupying my mind by looking into my patron book.
Yeah, I was going to sit there and say, didn't your book just come alive?
That too.
Yeah, something like that.
And for what it's worth, Oak is
Do you need to
actually...
keep it on a leash?
Locke just kind of gives Riven a sideways glance, like, if anything, I'm the one on a leash.
I mean, that the book is flying and stuff. You don't want that book getting away from me, do you? Just put a little leash on it and just...
I'm gonna just go back to reading the book. I imagine it's still mostly in a text I don't understand.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, a lot of it, like the first couple pages, sort of jumped out at you after the book jumped away from you, but a lot of it's still sort of garbled and all over the place. Though you are starting to get a little bit of a sense that, even though it looks like gibberish and not of a language that you have any kind of scope of understanding, there is a pattern to it. There's something to it that says that it's not just a bunch of jargon. And Oak, unfortunately, is not nearby to hear your exchange with Riven, because he's went back, just as you guys were starting to rest, he went back into the the further back parts of the shrine home into what more or less amounts to probably his room, and for the biggest chunk of the duration of the 1 hour short rest, he was back there. Now, as
Why do I now have the mental image of him coming back with just like the most gigantic of cartoony shoulder bags holding all of his worldly possessions? Or like, all right, friends, let's go kick ass. I don't know.
no,
I thought not.
most of what he would carry around to travel with was already in a bag, which he actually has left sitting next to where everybody was resting. So, he didn't go back to pack more things. He went back to maybe get something he forgot or some such. And as the short rest comes to a close, and Locke, you're sort of feeling your energy coming back to you, signifying that yes, you do have your spell slots back. Yay.
Yay.
Oak reappears nearby, and he walks up to the two of you and looks looks sort of between you. You do really want to go and check out this camp, right?
I mean, you guys don't have to. I'm going either way.
Well,
Locke's gonna thump his book closed. Well, I may not have to, but I still think I owe you somewhat for helping out with that first batch of goblins, and he stands up from his sitting position, puts the book away in its pouch, and I need better control of my abilities. Tagging along on this might be a good way to get some.
Okay.
as far as I'm concerned, the two of you make for an interesting adventure, if nothing else. And if we are going to go into a place that could be extremely dangerous, I mean, I know it's goblins. They're not necessarily the most powerful creatures. However, we don't know what kind of friends these goblins may have. So, he sort of opens up his hand to reveal, sitting in the palm of his hand, are two very pristine, surprisingly pristine, platinum rings.
What are these?
Both of you. Yeah, sure. Why not? Both of you make for me a religion check if you are proficient in it. I don't know if either of you are.
I am not proficient in religion. I do have detect magic though, and I can cast it without expending spell slots.
Sure.
So
I do not have religion either, so I'm just like, what is it? Again.
Yeah.
I'll look at them and start doing the thingies to cast detect magic in the back, just kind of like, these look interesting. Are they magical? While doing the hand motions.
No, they're not. But
I stop casting detect magic. Locke just kind of lets his hand slump, sort of disappointedly back to us. I was like, oh, of course not.
But they will help me with a spell to help us as a group. I know that you are not. He looks to Locke. I know that you are not necessarily the most durable individual, and these rings will help to protect you. Or well, one ring will help to protect you, while I take the other. However, Riven here is most likely the one that's going to be going into the center of the fray. So, protecting her may prove just as important. Essentially what happens with these two rings is I can protect you from afar. I wear one ring, and whoever I help wears the other.
Give it a spell, boy. He looks a bit squishy.
Locke looks visibly flustered at all the comments on how skinny he is.
I said squishy, not skinny.
It's more or less the same thing. I'm squishy because I'm skinny.
Well, soon enough we'll put some meat on those bones. How about that?
He kind of looks a little surprised at that. Well, first, what? Seriously? Well,
You're going to have to learn something, or else you're not really going to make it out there. So,
I've been making it for longer than you might think. I'll reach out and take one of the rings then.
Cool. Alright. So, you can mark in your inventory, if you wish, Locke, that you have a platinum ring that hopefully you wouldn't want to, but if you wanted to sell it, is technically worth 20 gold.
I will just name it a platinum ring gift from Oak.
Yep.
And call it.
Alrighty. Well, I guess in that case, if the two of you are ready, then we can go ahead and head on out.
I'm as good as I'm going to get.
all right. Start heading
And
north.
since Riven was the closest to the door, Riven is the first out, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Would make the most sense to me.
As Riven walks out the door, leaning against the thatched roof of the butcher shop, with
Thatch roof.
thatched house, leaning up against the house, the butcher shop, is the orc from before.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of has her arms crossed in front of her, and laying on the ground next to her feet is what looks kind of like the what's it called? The like image of the person that's carrying a pack on a stick. It's like cloth wrapped around and tied.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, but minus the stick. It's just a sack of cloth that's wrapped together and then tied, and then sort of sitting at her feet. And as Riven comes out, she sort of taps it with her foot for the road.
And she takes a look at Oak, like a glance.
Oak gives Riven a smile. That is probably a thank you for helping her with Thorn. And perhaps she knows you're not going to stay in this village forever, so think of it as a thank you.
She just gives the orc a nod and goes and picks it up.
It's got some weight to it, but it's nothing that Riven can't handle by any stretch. And essentially what you have is...
It's a bag of meats.
It's a bag of meat, basically. Food. It is actually cured and cooked to some degree. But yeah.
I like how I get to put in my inventory bag of meat.
Yep. Mostly rabbit, but anyway.
Meat.
Still, it's meat.
Hmm?
Hey, this is like kind of out of character. Hey, speaking of meat, tossed.
Yeah. I did not miss that. Was that deliberate, Dora? Did you just stick that in there just for gets and shiggles because we were talking about putting meat on my bones? Like, I'll humor him.
No, actually, I was
You're just
intending...
gonna pull the meat out of the bag and just stick it to him.
I was actually intending...
Hey!
That would be amusing, but I was actually intending for this gift as a thank you to Riven prior to that conversation.
Okay.
And I'm just joking out of character.
Right, of course.
Of course you are, because, I mean, put meat on his bones, not on his skin.
Well, I mean, you did say you're just skin and bones.
I'm very
You're
skinny.
skinny. Yes.
But I mean, I do have muscles. If I didn't, I would be a puddle on the floor, mostly.
Sidetrack.
Riven now has a bag of meat. Yummy.
Mhm.
And you are making your way northward out of the forest and towards what would be the goblin camp. Are you going to let Oak lead since he knows the way around the forest, or is Riven wanting to do it because forest? I mean, forest is her favorite terrain, so she's not going to get lost, but...
Well, the thing is, we're going to be walking out of the forest onto the plain. We're heading north. That's where the hobgoblin told us to go, is to the north.
Yep.
Yeah, so we won't be in the forest for very long. Depending on how
Yeah.
far said hobgoblin camp is, we might be out there for several days. Locke will turn to
He
Oak as we're
said
kind of.
It was a couple of days out.
Yep.
No, it was a day's travel. So that's why Riven decided she wanted to leave this afternoon, so that way we go out, camp.
It was
then-
roughly a day and a half travel is what was said.
Okay.
Well, she was just trying to figure out of trying to the camp when there's still light.
Now, in this context, does a day and a half mean a full? Does a day in this context mean a full 24-hour cycle, or just travel time? You know, the 8 hours you get from when you wake up to when you stop.
It would include the 8 hours of when you rest and sleep. So, assuming that you
So a day and a half on that case would be 12 hours of travel then.
something like that, yes. Basically, what it
Just trying to
amounts
get my numbers straight.
Basically, what it amounts to is, since you're going to be leaving in the middle of the day, roughly the middle of the day, to start to head out, you would have one moment when you camp at night, and once that's passed, you then have another full day before you would technically make it up to the camp, assuming you went there the way that the hobgoblin came to the forest, because keeping in mind the hobgoblin was referring to it as a day and a half travel based on how he got there. So,
Yeah.
now, you start to make your way out of the forest. Pretty easy to keep track of where you're going, both because this is a forest that Oak knows like the back of his hand, and because Riven can't get lost in a forest. So, between the two of you, you make it out of the forest just fine, and it gets to be probably, because it wasn't actually that far from the edge of the forest when you sort of ventured out before, so it's probably like just going on like 7 or 8 as you're bridging the gap of this is no longer forest and you're now in the open area of the trees. You're roughly there with the little marker of this is the group.
All right. Yep, I remember. I made that marker.
Did make that marker. So traveling northward and making your way up, you have a small, relatively small, well, not relatively, but you have a river and a bridge.
Like either over here,
Yes.
to over here.
There's somewhere in that arc.
Yeah, and somewhere we're going to be camping here.
All right.
Assuming you want to travel all the way to the bridge, because you could go straighter and end up just like going across the water.
Well, then we would have to cross the river without the bridge.
And that would necessitate like swimming, and Locke probably knows how to swim, but he's not going to be good at it because athletics.
Uh-huh.
I have a -2 in athletics.
Yes.
I would drown.
Anyway, so You travel, I'm assuming, towards the bridge.
Yep.
And
I'm voting with Riven on that. To the bridge, easier to cross.
yeah. You make your way to the bridge at just as it's starting to get super dark because you did most of the day travel in the forest, so like the other half of the day to get there, yeah. Um, and you actually have to. You can choose to cross the bridge in the dark, or you can camp near the bridge. The bridge doesn't actually have any kind of guardsmen or anything added, or no kind of toll or anything weird. It's just a simple wooden bridge that probably is not the best kept, but bridge. Yeah. You make your way across the bridge, camp for the night once you have made it officially across. So you're like, over here on this side. Boop.
Okie dokie.
And you get ready to lay down and camp for the night.
Alright. So, who wants first watch?
I'm guessing you're not wanting it.
Not essentially. I'll do it if no one else wants to, but
I would prefer last watch.
So I'll take first. And if the three of us all have our own watch cycles, Locke is in the middle.
all right. I'll take second then.
Okay.
Okay.
So what sort of packs do you guys have for like camping and sleeping and all sorts of things? I don't even know what sort of packs you kept for that.
Well,
Pretty much all of the camping supplies we have right now come from Riven because I don't seem to have much in the way of camping supplies. So like I've got in my backpack I got that book of lore, a bottle of ink, an ink pen, 10 sheets of parchment, a bag of sand, a small knife, my old black book, 14 days worth of rations, and a wooden bowl.
Yes.
I am dreadfully underprepared. But I mean it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I will not say.
I
was
I
in a
mean,
hurry when
story
you guys...
heads.
You could be just camping out in the middle of the grass wooded areas with nothing really to protect you from the elements right now. It's not raining or anything, so you're decently okay.
I suppose.
Although, Oak, as you've sort of decided that you're going to make camp, Oak gathers some timber that he had picked up as you were traveling through the forest, sets it in a little circle, and then does some hand motions, whispers to himself softly, and campfire.
Ooh.
She pulls out. Riven just pulls out bedroll and just like lays down on it, using her original backpack as a pillow, and then the meat is just off to the side.
Bleh. Oak has first watch. Let me see how well his first watch goes. Boop. Okay. So Oak's watch goes by without any real worrisome or worry, and then he awakens Locke so that Locke could do his own watch. There's really nothing out here right now, I don't think, except like nighttime animals and birds and things. So hopefully we should be fine.
Hopefully.
And he goes and
Just a thing. Is it like a kind of like a field thing where we're just like off the side of the road?
sort of, kind of, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. Okay, I assume perception check for mine.
Yep.
All right, and while I'm doing that, I'm gonna try at least to keep an eye on the road a little bit, just in case I see anyone coming along.
Yeah.
That's a critical failure.
You are distracted. I'll give you that. You're um you're not necessarily used to camping with others or really doing any kind of like night watch or anything like that. So you're like super focused on tiny and small things that don't matter.
Like the grass over there twitches, like just a rat, okay?
Yeah. And you're sort of cowardly anyway, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh,
Alright.
but yeah, nothing like jumps out and tries to attack you. Though Bunny does hop out of a bush randomly.
No! Go on, shoot, get out of here, get shoo. Does it leave?
I almost want to make you roll animal handling, but anyway.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm committed now. That's a 14.
Nice. Okay. So you're just
Does
like
it leave?
shoot, and it just bounds away. Bang, bang, bang. It does, however, before it starts to bound away and as it hops out, it didn't really do anything intimidating. It just does that sort of like paw motion to like flick at his ears thing that a rabbit or a squirrel sometimes does. It looks really cute, and then it just hops away. But yeah, so your watch goes through uneventfully, other than the little rabbit incident, and you then are tasked to wake up Riven for her own watch.
Yep, and I'll do so just kind of. Okay, hold on a second. Locke is going to kind of. He has a feel for time. He's like, okay, I think it's time for Riven's watch. He's going to look over at Riven, this imposing half-orc woman who he watched scream at a goblin so loud it shat its pants and ran away. And
Take an X6. Take like one.
what type of saving throw would it be to determine if I'm being brave or not?
Oh god, I used to know what it is.
I'm just going to default to wisdom in this case.
It would make sense, yeah. Wisdom.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Okay, that's all right. It's like
You're
okay, okay.
brave.
It's just like okay, no, just calm down, Locke. She saved your life once before. Just kind of inch over and lightly nudge her in the hand with my boot.
You're nudging her hand with your boot.
With my foot to try and get her to wake up. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, I do not like that giggle.
No, I'm just sitting here thinking. I'm just trying to think of like, because she's on her side with a bedroll.
Yep. There's this cowardly teenager kind of nudging her hand, trying to get her to wake up without getting too close.
I would assume at the hand and arm that's not on the ground, because if she's laying on her side, then she has an arm and hand that's up.
You know what? Where is my character sheet?
Uh-oh.
Gimme.
Oh dear. This is what happens when I try to roleplay. Shit goes wrong.
No.
Oh, so this is shit going right. Gotcha.
Kind of.
This is
roleplay.
amusing, is what this is. Anyway.
We don't even know what's going to happen yet. I'm just trying to wake her up, and I'm giving Riven the chance to do something
No,
weird with her
I
reaction.
wanted to challenge you to something. Oh, right. They changed this whole thing.
Would it be like a Constitution saving throw?
No, it was going to be a reflex save.
Oh,
So
It would
you'll
be Dex
fall
in
on
that
your
case.
ass.
It'd be Dex in that case.
okay.
Basically, she's going to attempt to grab your foot.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so yeah.
I'm pretty sure this would
No,
actually be
I
opposed
have-
athletics, wouldn't it? Or just opposed dexterity.
It would be.
I would be making an attempt to grapple you, kind of thing,
Oh.
is what's going on.
Oh boy.
And you're just trying to make sure you move fast. So it is going to be a dexterity roll.
It would technically be. Yeah, just do dexterity a piece, both of you.
15.
Wait, grappling's not dexterity.
Grappling would technically be strength.
Yeah.
Oh, well, so should I roll strength then?
No, you're doing
No.
dex to dodge.
Okay.
Yeah.
If she successfully grabs me, then it would be strength to get away, and that's not happening.
No, it's not. Anyway,
Not
so yes,
saving
good.
throws.
Just go ahead and roll straight strength.
Oh.
All right then.
Yeah, so I'm holding on to your foot. Ah, shit. Sorry, that was our character. I just noticed something. Yeah, so she's just gonna sit there and look up, begin to start getting up, and then let goes of your foot.
Locke backs away a few paces, looking visibly alarmed. Just
Don't ever kick me with your foot again.
sorry. It's
And as you notice, she moves the blanket. Her axes are actually laying right next to her. That she could have easily grabbed under the blanket.
the color drains from Locke's face.
Uh-huh.
Wait, you don't know what kind of wild animals are out there?
Sorry, it's just time for your watch, and I wasn't sure how else to wake you.
Okay. Well, do try to get some sleep.
I will. Locke is gonna shuffle back over to where he was sleeping earlier and kind of curl up there and try to fall back asleep.
Okay.
For what it's worth,
Character building.
Oak is nearby, just sleeping away comfortably. So.
Do you even have to scream of this?
Actually, yeah, sure, why not? I'll give Oak a perception check at disadvantage because he's asleep.
Okay.
Boop. That's a 10. Nope.
Yeah. Alright, well, I guess I'm rolling my perception.
You are indeed. Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
Also a 10.
Alright,
How about that?
What do I get?
A new car! No.
There's no cars in here.
This isn't modern yet. Anyway,
Yet.
Yet.
there needs to be a 5th edition modern. There really does. Anyway,
Yes, RD.
it doesn't officially exist because the base classes that 3.5 modern had don't translate well into 5th edition. That's why it doesn't exist yet. But anyway. So moving on. Your watch is pretty uneventful, actually. You hear, nighttime animals, birds, things scattering about. You don't get spooked by any of the stray animals like Locke did, but it's pretty peaceful. You're now more out of the forested area, so you probably feel a little bit more exposed just on the grounds that you're in a more open sort of area. But
yeah,
it's peaceful. Nothing really going on that you can see.
Is it starting to come up?
Yeah, sunlight's starting to crest over the horizon, starting to get to be earlier parts of the
she's
morning.
gonna pull something out as the sun is coming up.
Oh, okay.
And just look at it.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's what I think it is, I'm assuming.
Maybe.
Um, Sort of the silver tin on it glistening in the sun and stuff.
Yeah, just watching the sun start hitting it. It's a little beat up. You know, like a slight crack here and what probably looks like teeth marks. Because of something trying to see if it's actually like full on silver or not.
Right, yeah. Okay. Um, well, Oak had first watch. So, Oak is, and didn't get woke up in the middle of the night or anything weird. So, Oak wakes up in and about the time that's, the sun's starting to come up. How far away from, like, your little gathered camp are you with what you're looking at?
Not very far. I mean, she's looking at it and stuff, but she hasn't made any motions to go wake anyone else, wake them up yet, because she probably thinks they'll probably still be asleep by the time sunrise is up.
Yeah, think about that,
So,
though. Oak would wake up with sunrise.
yep, and she doesn't know that. So,
Indeed. Um, so, Oak sort of comes to consciousness, wakes up, rubs the sleep out of his eyes a little bit.
yeah, she's distracted looking at something.
Um, so, didn't get attacked by anything in the night, did we?
She like looks up and like tucks it back away and be like, "No, just normal nighttime creatures."
Good. You want to wake up Locke, or should I?
Could you? I scared him last night.
Oh, really?
Huh.
Alright. So, Oak will, he walks over to where Locke is resting, which is mostly just sort of on the ground, because he doesn't have, like, a bedroll or anything to sleep
Yeah,
on.
I'm just kind of splayed out of.
Yeah.
Just a blob.
Back to the blob from earlier. I gotta eat you.
Yes. So Oak is sort of going to look to Locke sort of sprawled out form. Give a smile off to Riven, and then take his quarterstaff that he has and sort of just bop at the ground right next to Locke's head. Really loudly. Like,
How dusty is the ground here?
how what?
Dusty. How dusty is the ground here?
A little bit. You're sort of off the edge of the road, so there's like loose gravel and dirt nearby. It's a little dusty. Not a whole lot, but a little bit.
Well, I'll take that as an affirmative for what I'm about to do then.
Huh?
If he's stomping the ground really loudly next to my head, then I would assume some dust gets kicked up.
Indeed.
Locke's eyes are going to fly up and he goes, and someone's going to go right down his throat. Going to roll over onto his side.
Morning.
Deep breaths.
Kind of looks up at Oak and says, "Yeah, you could have just nudged me." Kind of.
Nothing interesting happened. Nothing fun.
No, nothing interesting happened. I just almost choked on dust. Totally not
Oh,
interesting.
you're fine.
Stand up. Just give him a look.
He helps you. He actually helps you up.
All right. What's the plan?
Well, what was it? I think northwest or northeast. Said before.
Well, we started right here, roundabout.
Yeah. So roughly northwest, sort of like.
Yeah, we're gonna head towards this way. Like, there's a town up here and stuff, but we don't know if we head over this way
That's east, by the way. So somewhere in this general vicinity in the
Yeah, so
just from roughly where we started, be about somewhere in this arc.
Okay.
yeah.
So
Of what you
we'll
said, I
search
mean,
that.
it's basically we're heading north. Look, I know Riven's heading basically the way they need, like
I'm really
northwards and
quick.
stuff, and looking for tracks.
I'm really quick. Just gonna draw in a tiny little circle to mark where we started on this from this little trek right there. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Just for frame of reference is all.
All right.
Yeah, she's just like gonna look around and look for tracks that indicate a big, like,
Do me a survival to see if you can find some goblin tracks.
Locke.
goblinoids.
Let's hear. Locke actually has proficiency in survival. Could I give her a hand with that so she has advantage?
Sure.
Okay, I will do that. Locke will give you a hand.
23.
Nice.
Oh yeah. There are plenty of goblin tracks that are meandering around this area, close to this edge of this river on that side.
Is there, are, th- is there like a general directions that they're heading towards, or?
Roughly in a sort of this way.
All right.
Okay, she's gonna go that way. Start heading that way.
Following the tracks. Okay. Locke will keep pace a reasonable distance behind.
Focus following as well.
Mhm.
So you make it to the edge of this river here. And make for me a perception check.
All of us?
Either one of you.
Okay.
I think I'll let Riven. She has the higher number, probably. Yeah, Riven has a +4 to perception. I have no pluses.
21.
Yep. You sort of traveled a good ways. It's about mid to late afternoon at this point. Starting to travel at dusk. Start to see the spattering of tracks. They get a little bit denser, a little bit more pronounced, just on the grounds that there's more feet in the nearby area. And you also, in amongst those what you know as goblin tracks, you see, like humanoid feet, some sort. They aren't goblin, but humanoid-esque feet that seem to have claws, talons on the edge of the toes. They're not as well pronounced, but they are throughout with the other goblin tracks. And with your perception of 21, looking across the way to the across the river of sorts, you see what appears to be a camp of some sort, and a few goblins wandering around, sort of off the distance in the horizon. It's probably, counting the river that's like 20 feet across, it's a good 50, 60 feet ahead of you.
She's gonna stop and crouch down, and she's going to start sneaking.
Locke will see this and follow suit.
As will Oak. So stealth checks, people.
Shit. 8, even with my +4.
Huh?
15. Oh gosh.
9, 8, and 15. We are not a sneaky bunch.
Luckily,
She's in Riven's mind. She's going like, "Why did I bring these people with me?"
luckily, the goblins that are the closest to the river, that would have the most prominent chance to see you two, or see the three of you, because you're sort of coming up on the edges of the river
Oh,
itself.
please tell me they rolled badly.
I did passive perceptions. They're not expecting it. Their passive perception is 10, but they're also distracted, so I dropped it down a little bit. So
Mm.
All right.
they don't notice you, even with an 8.
Alright. So, what's the plan? How do we want to do this?
Just stay quiet and try to see what they're doing, if you can.
Do either of you happen to have a piece of copper? Just a spare copper piece?
Oak
Like,
tosses you a copper piece.
All right, thanks. I want to try something here. It's really dumb and it might cost us a copper piece of money. See, one of my cantrips that I know because of my pact boon is message, but it requires a piece of copper wire to work. I was thinking I could use one of the other cantrips I know, Firebolt, to melt the coin into a really long wire and use that. Can I do that?
That's
no.
interesting. That's interesting.
It's copper. It's just changing its shape to be
Well,
the
that's
wire.
the thing. Firebolt is a projectile.
Hmm.
Um,
And you have to think, are we in tall grass?
That is a valid point.
Whoosh.
So I can't, at least not at present, use Firebolt to convert a copper coin into a copper wire.
not at present, no.
Mm.
So I can't use message. Great.
Unfortunately, not at the moment you can't. But Riven, sort of wandering closer, still going off of that 21 perception. You see that the goblin, 2 goblins, that are near the edges of the water, you see that they seem to be fussing with something, that they're like almost arguing and fighting over something that one of them was carrying. And you don't hear them. Even if you could, you don't speak goblin, it'd just be like stuff. But eventually one of the goblins like tosses whatever it is that they are carrying and holding into the river. And it looks like some sort of like almost burlap sack. And then when it hits the water, it starts to sort of float downstream, and you can see that it's moving. There's something inside of said sack.
Ooh.
She's gonna motion to start heading down the river quietly.
Yeah, I'll tag along.
Oh,
And we're gonna start kind of plan on like heading parallel to the river until far enough to go and try to intervene at the river to see what that sack is.
right.
Kind of think it's best that you try to lasso it with your rope once we're out of sight of the goblin camp.
Which isn't that far because rivers travel towards the ocean, and if you recall from the map, this is sort of the edge of that on the map. So
Yeah,
Yes,
like
kinda
the
move
ocean
kinda
is just
quickly.
visible. So yeah, all right.
it doesn't take long for it to get far enough away from the goblins, and it's still sort of writhing and trying to whatever's inside of the pack is fighting with the pack to try to get out. Luckily, though, the pack
Yeah.
is keeping it afloat.
Which is a pretty good, solid, waterproof bag.
The burlap sack.
A bird like sap. Well, I don't know how much longer it's gonna be staying afloat, so let's try to hurry up and get this.
Okay. So we want to get that to shore, right?
Yes.
I take off my backpack and start rummaging through it, trying to see what all I've got.
Oak, can I
Mhm.
see your staff?
Hands you his staff.
She's gonna take it and start wading into the water, sticking the staff ahead of her so she can test how deep it is.
Ah, yeah. It in the deeper part of the water, it's probably easy, like 8 or 9. When it gets closer to the ocean and the water, since it's close to there, it's pretty deep.
Like
You're-
where the burlap sap is, like
Oh,
down. Am
yeah.
I getting anywhere close to where like its possible path is going?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's starting to get to be that deep.
Yep. You could potentially use the quarterstaff to sort of that plus rope to net and try to grab the bag like that, or you could just jump in the river and swim. It's not
Well, that's
that
the thing. I'm
fast.
already partially in the river, probably up to my chest in water.
Yeah, indeed.
So I'm trying to debate whether or not she wants to take that plunge and go in and just swim after it.
You also have rope.
Yeah, can I toss some rope back towards them?
Yep. Locke's automatically, or not Locke, Oak has automatically got a hold of the rope to sort of keep you from getting too far away from them.
Alright, she's just gonna go swim. So, I guess that's athletics.
It would be athletics, yes.
10.
That's not great.
Oh no.
10. All right.
I'm starting to get
So-
swept away.
So
But luckily, I'm holding on to the rope.
you lose your footing a bit, and you don't get to the sack as easily as you wanted to, but you are close enough and have affected the rapids enough that you are closer to the sack, and you hear a some sort of animal cry.
Yeah, she's still gonna keep attempting to get to the bag to grab it before it gets out of the reach of the.
Which
Yes,
takes a little bit of time, but you can make it to it. It's just not as graceful as you wanted it to be.
Yeah, no. It's just like all
Um,
heads and toes wet.
And you grab a hold of it.
I start tugging on the rope. Just like, help.
Yep. Oak is then going to pull, and I guess would it be strength or athletics to try to pull you back in?
Strength.
Probably strength, and Locke will help, though he probably can't contribute anything to this. His tiny strength.
You can try.
Yeah.
Mm.
Will that give an advantage to Oak because he's the
Might
main
as well.
bully? All right.
How does one roll checks and not saves?
Just click on the word strength in the ability scores list.
Yeah. Just right above it.
Okay, good thing I had advantage.
17.
Yeah. Because a critical failure, you drown her.
No, the rope would probably be gone.
All right. So Oak's got a hold of the rope, pulls, sort of makes his way, helps to get Riven back on shore.
Or at least until she can get her footing.
Yep.
She gives the stuff back to him.
All right. So, do you release whatever is inside the pack?
Yep.
Inside of the
Locke
pack.
takes several steps back as you're doing this, just in case it's dangerous.
It's like it's another goblin that they're trying to drown.
Or what if it's just an angry wild animal and it tries to fucking eat us? I don't want to be in the way of that.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what you have in your possession now Riven, is a very wet, very upset, scared, dire wolf pup
Yay! Oh.
who is
So it's
looking up you,
basically the
terrified.
So it's basically the size of a golden retriever, except it's a puppy and it has gigantic spikes coming out of its back. Wonderful.
Well, they're not giant spikes yet. They're kind of stubs because it's a pup.
Excuse me.
Also, you said the size of what?
Like a golden retriever or something to that effect.
It's actually
I
much.
would say that.
It's
More
actually
maybe a
somewhat.
Samoyed.
It's actually somewhat smaller than your average dire wolf.
Well, I mean, I don't know how big direwolves get when they're full grown. I'm just saying, like, how big I imagine it is right now.
Since
Yeah.
it's a puppy.
Yeah.
Roll me. Do you have nature proficiency, Ribbon? I mean, you do, or do you?
No, I do not.
I have a point in nature. I don't have proficiency though.
Oak doesn't either, but he has 2. It's a dire wolf pup. Seems kind of small, even for a puppy.
Yeah, they
standard.
become dire wolves become a large creature.
Yep.
Oh.
So right now it would count as probably on the lower brow of medium because it's a pup. It's about the size of an adult house cat, I would assume.
All right.
All right. The pup is very wet and very scared.
Or at least trying to pet it to calm it down.
Animal
Get
handling,
all
why
of
not?
the food.
That would be the appropriate skill here.
You were good at it before.
That's a no.
That's a
critical
5.
fail. That's a
Yeah.
nat 1 is what that
That's
is.
a nat 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
All right.
Well, I lost a finger, guys.
Actually,
Sitting here
no.
trying to.
It
like,
bites at your
coax
finger, but
it.
its teeth aren't strong enough. Not quite strong enough. They're sharp, and it hurts, but...
Yeah, she just pulls her hand away and slightly shake it. Like.
And it gets out of your arms that way, too.
Oh, she set it on the ground.
Oh, okay, you did? Okay.
She
Yeah.
wasn't
Oh,
like,
hold on.
entirely hold on to
I
it.
think I made a stupid decision because I have 2 instances of Charm Person in my spell list.
Good job.
I need to get rid of one of those and replace it with something I don't have.
Anyway.
Okay.
So, the dog, the little pup, is now sort of just on the ground, looking between everyone, and it's trying to be intimidating, but not amounting to it because it's so small.
She's gonna step back and then take a piece of meat and just like slightly toss it towards the ground near it, and just like kind of back off and.
Oak's like, that's probably a good idea. He probably is very... And the dog is immediately...
Ooh, food.
Yes, very much so. What do you want to do, Riven? This pup is obviously from the goblins in some way. But... I mean, I can talk to animals. Don't know what I could get out of a child, but I could talk to animals.
I don't know, just try to coax it along with us. Like, I can keep feeding it meat.
Yeah.
Stuff.
So, Oak does a few hand motions and gestures, and then sort of leans down as the dog is chomping down on the food. And speaks in it in yips, very much like some other character we know who can talk to animals when no one else can understand. I.e., Sume. And by the end of it, Oak sort of stands up and he's like, "That's okay." So he was thrown into the river because he was not deemed strong enough or something. He's smallest of his litter.
So he's a runt. Okay. It's fine. Just toss another piece of meat towards them.
I don't want to take him with us.
I mean, yeah, that probably would be best, so...
Can you ask him if he'd be, if it were to come down to us fighting this goblin camp, would he be willing to get some, No, he's just a puppy, never mind.
Yeah.
Ask him if he'd like to eat the people who threw him in the river. Because if we wind up fighting them, then maybe we can bring him some scraps of goblin meat from the goblins who tossed him in the river, and he can get some catharsis that way.
It's actually not a bad idea.
I have my moments, I think.
Oak sort of leans down and conversing with the dog a little bit more. Yeah. That sounds like a plan. He doesn't want to get really close to the goblin camp, though.
Fair enough. All right, so what do we do?
Well,
let's sneak back and see what's going on. And then... So, try to figure out what they're doing. Other than, getting rid of this little guy.
All right. Would this be a point where we could re-roll our earlier stealth checks?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Let's try this shit again. That's much better. 20. Not natural.
14.
Ha!
14. Okay, so we did better.
Oh, yeah, much.
Well, I did worse, but...
It's like Locke's kind of noticed how Riven was doing the stealthing in the grass area. He's not used to stealthing in open grass, and he kind of feels like, okay, that's how
You're
you do it.
skinny enough, you can hide down a little bit better in the grass.
I'm skinny, I'm small, I'm dirty, I'm a teenager, I blend right in.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, Oak will, sort of do his best to camouflage in the tall grass. Take some of the meat from the pack, which still has plenty left, and sort of just lets the little pup stay further away from the river and further away from where the goblin camp is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's right behind you as you stealth your way and make your way closer. You now see that it's now getting to be about 5 or 6, just on the cusp of starting to get a little bit darker. And give me you're pretty close, but the issue that you have is there's a river between you, so you can't get too terribly close.
Oh, did they cross?
Hmm?
Did they cross over?
The goblin camp is actually across the river that's between you currently.
Oh. Shoot. Okay. I thought it was on the same side as us.
No, but their camp is actually relatively close to the river, so you can see it from where you are. You just can't necessarily stealth right next to it. The river is serving as sort of a natural barrier for their camp.
Like, how big is this camp?
Best guess, and give me perception.
17.
Not bad. It's actually pretty big from what you can tell. Maybe 50, 60 feet across-ish. And you see like a splattering of smaller little huts and tents. Then,
Goblins bickering with each other and
Hmm?
stuff. Goblins bickering with each other and stuff.
yeah, and in particular, in and amongst the camps, you see a much bigger tent that your understanding of Goblin, that boss, whoever that may be, is probably in that one.
Probably.
And they're sort of just meandering about on the other side of the river.
Okay.
And we could cross the river. If Locke's not the greatest at swimming, I can help him with that, I suppose.
If we do that, we need to go further down the stream so we won't be noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Riven, you did make a pretty high perception check. You see on the top of the big hut, there is a flag, or what amounts to a flag, and an emblem that once familiar to you. It looks very similar to a goblin camp, goblinoid symbol that you've seen before, though it's slightly different. It's got some variations of color, and there's a symbol that was pretty prominent on what you saw before that sort of slashed through. It looks like a flag for a camp that you've seen before, but the flag has been like graffitied, changed in some way.
Okay. She's gonna look at the other two and be like, well, what do we want to do? It's a pretty big camp.
Yeah. Question, DM. How wide across is this river?
About 20, 30 feet, roughly, at its widest.
Okay. Okay. Do the goblins have like torches or fireplaces or anything like that
Oh,
within range? Within like 60 feet of me.
If you were on the edges of the river, just starting to get into the water, you'd probably have a few torches that are about feet away. You'd have to wade into the water about 20 feet.
Okay, give me just a second here to double check the spell I just replaced one of my charm persons with. So the river's about 20 to 30 feet across, you said. And there's a torch within about 60 feet of me when I'm about like 10 feet into the river, you said?
Roughly about a little less than halfway into the river. And this part of the river is a lot less deep than like the one further down.
because it was like opening up. Okay.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'll go a little ways into the river. I'll go a little ways in, and I will cast Unseen Servant. And I will materialize my servant on the other end of the river from me. And my plan here, I'll go ahead and say that I conveyed this before I start doing this, is make a distraction by setting fire, like seemingly accidental fire, by pushing over one of the torches to make it easier for us to sneak onto the other side of the shore a little ways up while they're busy trying to put out the fires. And it'll also do some damage to their arrangements while we're at it. It'll look like just an accident, and they'll take some damage, and we can get closer without being spotted.
I would say wait until a goblin gets close to it and then do it.
I mean, the problem then is they'd see it and they'd realize that this should, just knock over a torch, just make it look like it got loose from the ground and just fell over onto a tent. It's kind of what I'm
Good.
thinking.
Also, what kind of strength does this little dude have?
Not much. I mean, like, if it's just like a
That's the
typical
thing.
torch,
It's invisible.
it's invisible. So if someone sees just a torch just suddenly lift up and move, that would be a bad thing. So I want to find a torch that no one's near.
You could theoretically cause it to trip a goblin into a torch.
You know, that's
No.
actually not a terrible point, but it would be a lot more imprecise.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
Okay.
mean, you can still do that. Of just lifting up the torch and setting it fire, because they're not very smart.
Yeah, just so long as there aren't any goblins within visual range.
To see that it was picked up.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'll conjure my
Again,
servant.
they're not. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just trying to minimize risk here.
Yeah.
So I'll conjure my servant. I'll take a quick look back and forth with my eyes, make sure there aren't any goblins within immediate visual range of the torch I've targeted. Are there any?
No, not at the moment.
All right, and I'll have my unseen servant, who I'm going to have to name at some point, just kind of push the torch into the tent it's closest to, just so it sort of lazily falls over and
Okay.
fall into the tent and start lighting it up. And then I will dispel it once I'm sure the tent has actually caught in fire.
Wait until we hear the scream. We're yelling.
Or just start to see like the fire spreading a bit.
It starts to get a bit brighter over there.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so it's caught.
Okay, so
It is, in fact, pretty caught on fire, yes.
All right, I will dispel my servant and I will make my way back to the group and say, okay, that should keep them distracted for a little bit. If we head a bit further upstream, we should be able to sneak across without a problem, and they'll be distracted with that fire, and they've just taken a bit of damage to their supplies, so that'll hinder them at least a bit
maybe.
and give us a sneaking chance. So let's go.
Alright, well, I guess we're gonna try to sneak our way over the river.
Yeah, a bit further upstream was the idea, I figured.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of them that are the closest to the river are pretty well distracted from that. So you can go an easy
Start hearing goblins yelling.
goblin. You also hear a few screeches that are very much louder and not goblin, but they're in goblin.
Ooh, harpies.
And so you
Did I just burn the harpy tent?
no.
That would be nice.
That'd be cute.
Acrobatics to get across the water. Be relatively easy
Oh,
because you're
boy.
going
No,
Further
it's
up.
athletics.
athletics, yeah.
All right. Well, that's even worse. I could do acrobatics, not athletics.
Yep,
Here's to
no,
hoping.
this is...
Well, I rolled a natural
Hey!
20, so never mind. It's like, okay, I gave us a
Oh,
chance to
minus
fucking
2.
blow it. And I just -2.
Ugh, 11. At least it's better than last time. Let's tie each other to the rope.
Yep.
Let's make a little swim
Also
train.
So a nat 20 and 2 11s. Why?
Alright. So
You're just a
Surprisingly-
natural born swimmer.
surprisingly, Locke is relatively okay in the water.
It's like I got this adrenaline rush because, like, I just set fire to someone's tent. Oh boy, oh dear. It's like, so I'm
I'm
not
gonna
even
die.
thinking about this. So I'm not even thinking about the swimming. I'm just going for it.
It's just like you found the spot where you think you're swimming, but your feet are actually hitting the ground, and you're just kind of like very roughly
It's like-
wading across.
It's like, oh, okay.
Alright. So you make your way across, and you are presented with something that amounts to this. Boop.
Oh no.
Huh?
I really hope I don't recognize that thing on that beast. Is that the tent with the little squiggly black things next to it, the tent that caught on fire?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Which there are now 4 goblins and a harpy trying to put out.
I am very tempted to just use minor illusion to make the flame look like it suddenly swirls and gets much bigger, but I'm not going to do that.
I'm worried about this guy back here. Where's our
Hey.
characters? Oh, there they are.
Bottom.
Bottom left.
Oh boy.
Can you see nameplates on the creatures by chance?
No.
No.
Okay, good. Alrighty. So, most of the goblins are focused on that, trying to put out the fire that is now the tent. And there is a very agitated harpy flying around them, screeching. What
I
would you
wouldn't be
like to?
able to tell if this harpy is wounded. Is it?
Not from this distance, no. And besides,
Hmm.
it's been a little over a day since you shot that harpy, so it'd be pretty well patched up anyway.
So what do we want to do here? Also, what did we do about the direwolf? Did we just leave him back on the other shore and tell him to wait?
He's
Yeah.
Okay.
Oak sort of camouflaged the dire wolf pup in the grass and left some of the meat from the pack with him, and he's on the other side of the river.
Yeah. So.
He's back there near the road and relatively safe.
Okay.
This is your fight, Riven. What do you want to do here?
It's actually not my fight.
Well,
I mean,
you
you're the
wanted
one
to
who
go and
wanted to
investigate
come,
the camp.
so-
Is there anything here that you see that
I did. I want to see what's in that big tent over there. See if we can find anything. So how about we skirt our way around while they're distracted?
Ready?
So, like, hide over there or something? I mean, there's a tent we could hide behind to get a bit closer.
Well, yeah, I plan on try to move our way back behind it and try to cut a hole in the tent behind it, the opening,
Hmm.
from where those goblins are, and
You
try to
mean
sneak in that way.
You mean cut a hole in the big tent?
Yes, want to go into the big tent.
Okay. Well, How are we gonna do that from this distance? Because we're a ways away from them.
Yeah, so let's try sneaking our way over there. So.
Since that fire is going, would we get an advantage on stealth checks here?
Yeah, you would. Most of the
Alright.
ones close by are distracted. I would like to point out that these two goblins that are right next to the tent are not necessarily distracted, but
Yeah, so.
All right. Well, advantage stealth check then. 18.
15.
15.
And
Oh, I have one more square to go. That's my max movement there.
and 19 for Oak. Nice.
Relatively unnoticed. The goblins are none the wiser currently.
All right.
Sort of making your way further up and around.
Yeah.
Locke will kind of take up a position behind this tent here, just kind of a hideout. There's nothing inside the tent. Is there? Like, I'll look and see if I can see like anything silhouetted inside or hear anything moving.
Make a perception check.
All right. Normal roll. 5.
Yeah, nothing of note.
All right. Well,
It looks like there was a goblin that was recently in this tent that left it really quickly, but other than that, it's fine.
I mean, I did set his neighbor on fire, so can't say I'm surprised.
Alright. I'm going to attempt my stealth again.
What?
Since I'm going to be getting closer.
Okay.
I,
Wow.
were those rolls supposed to be hidden?
No. It's fine.
Okay. Do I roll another stealth?
You
Since
can.
I have to get closer?
You can, or you can roll it off of your previous one.
What is a 15?
Up
I
to
really
you.
don't want to take that chance. But
Oak's still keeping towards this tent over here.
Yeah. She's gonna push it. She's gonna try to get closer. So. Mmm.
Nice! Nat 20.
Mmm.
There you go.
Come at me. I just I'm 5 feet away from this. Like, you don't see me, and I'm just sitting there.
I'm a ghost. You remember that, Dorad?
Yes, I do. Alright. So you get it. You make your way up to the back of the tent up there without much of a problem.
Yes.
Give me a perception check.
Is it a perception to check see if anyone's in there or anything?
Yes, it would be a perception to see if anyone's in there.
Okay. 12.
You hear movement and voices speaking in goblinoid. One very gruff and deep. The other is slightly more feminine and screechy. But yeah. They are inside the tent conversing in some form or fashion.
Slightly feminine and what?
They're inside the tent and they seem to be talking to each other.
Yeah, it's just you said feminine and then something else.
I think he said squeaky.
Screechy.
That's
the
what
feminine voice.
Oh, screechy.
Yeah, the feminine voice sounds screechy.
Is there any way I can get down low and kind of peek under?
Sure, you rolled a 24 stealth. They don't even notice you.
Yeah,
at all.
I'm gonna be laying on my belly, just lifting the very bottom of the tent up to see who I can see in there with my 12.
Yeah, you're fine. So looking in underneath, you see this clearly looks to be is a 12 is good enough. I mean, you're right there at it. You see the feet of another bugbear and the taloned feet of a harpy. And the two are just sort of conversing, and the harpy seems to be pacing a little bit. And it looks like it looks very much like a commander's tent. You even see a map of the local area that's sort of on the wall, because it doesn't really have a wall, this is a tent, but it's nearby on a table that you sort of can see over, and yeah, looks like a commander's tent of some sort. Bugbear and a harpy. And seeing as how you're there and doing that, you now have this. Boop.
Okay. So those two are in a tent. A bully bugbear and a harpy talking.
Oh,
Do.
yeah. Riven.
Yes.
You had a perception check of 12.
Yeah.
There is a a javelin that's leaning up against the wall near where you're at that doesn't seem like it's goblin make. Doesn't seem like it fits in here. It actually seems vaguely familiar. Or like a spear. Javelin spear. Some sort of weapon that is not of goblin make.
Alright. Hey, can I do something with my 50 feet of rope?
Sure.
Okay, so this tent thing that you have, this is pretty much the design of it. Of how it's made and stuff with posts going off to the sides.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, can I tie like the start of the rope here, then wrap it around here and here. Can I do that? Just like at the bottom, just very gently like sliding the rope around
Yeah, sure.
the posts, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the other two doing? Since they basically saw me just disappear.
I'm waiting.
You're just sitting there waiting.
I'm waiting. I'm maintaining my stealth check. I'm keeping an eye on that fire.
Yeah. How's the progress of the fire going?
The goblins
Is that tent gone?
the goblins are sort of fussing with each other and arguing, and eventually the harpy just sort of leans in, lashes out with her. She lashes out with her claws like in a double backhand to two of the goblins and just smacks them away.
Oh, I
And
thought
then
she was gonna pick one up and just drop them on the fire just to try to put it out.
She smacks them, like knocks them both on their butts, just, and then she, of course, Riven's focused on what she's doing. She doesn't see much of this.
Yeah.
And she like flutters up her wings and then with like a dust sort of thing to try to help put out the fire.
That's not good.
And she
That's something that would accelerate it.
do what?
That's something you would sell. Is it like the ground is like kind of packed down around the tents, like the grass or whatever?
Yeah, it's sort of dusty and packed down.
So it's not tall grass.
Not all of it, no. Some of it is, but not all of it.
All right. No, I was just wondering because it's like, you know how when you have a fire going and then you put bellows to it, it makes the fire bigger?
Oh yeah, I know. This is more of a dust sand attack thing to try to suffocate it a little bit.
Okay.
So they're starting.
It's like
to
either
get
it was going to be a mistake or actually succeeding at trying to put it out.
Yeah. They're eventually calmed down. She sort of screeches loudly, and this goblin here starts to try to make his way back this way, turn back around. He's heading in Oak and Locke's direction. And she bops this other goblin here on the head for good measure. And starts to flutter and make her way back that way. Riven, what you doing?
I'm going to roll strength to try to pull the posts out from their position to cause the tent to collapse.
That's kind of what I saw you doing, so go for it. Got about 15 or 20 seconds before this harpy's going to notice before this other goblin's probably going to easily notice Oak and Locke.
Oh wait, no, that's a save. Never mind. Hold on.
Roll an extra strength check.
No! Shit. Oh.
Alright.
Okay.
And they're probably more accurately something like this. No. I'm not. Yeah, Locke's closer to the tent, sure. Yeah, you pull, they're pretty deep stuck in the ground at this point.
Can we see her doing this? Can we see her like tugging on the thing?
Huh?
I mean, you can try roll perception to see if you can see me.
Fair enough. I mean, I've got dark vision, and you're within line of sight of me. Like, if we were to draw a cone, I could see you from here.
Yeah,
but...
you can. You're in my line of sight. It's just my stealth.
Oh yeah.
You're pretty well stealthed. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. So
We just know Oak and Locke just know that she went around the
I'm off over here somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
You went around the other tent.
So Locke's currently like got his back up against like the tent we're hiding behind, and he's trying not to hyperventilate. Like, oh dear, oh gosh, we're gonna be found. We're gonna be found. Oh no, oh dear, I was not prepared to fight this many at once. We're gonna die.
Oak puts his hand on Locke's shoulder. Calm down. Calm down. Once that
Trying.
he Oak looks past the tent towards the goblin that's sort of heading this way. Once that goblin there gets a little bit further away, you've done it before.
Closer.
Or, well, closer to them. Once that goblin gets a little closer to us, you can, I don't know, we can blast it. I could probably hit it, knock it out with my staff, maybe. We can do something so that it doesn't necessarily alert that the others are there. I don't know what Riven is up to over there, but we're not necessarily caught yet.
Let me check my list of spells here really quick. Firebolt is a cantrip, so maybe I could start another fire.
Good.
It's just a little red dot just goes soaring through the air, just like.
No, okay, so like Locke, okay. I look around, like, are there any torches nearby this tent, or no? Is this one more in the dark?
Oh yeah,
Here.
there's torches right behind both of those goblins. That tent.
No, I mean like the tent we're hiding behind right here.
Oh, the one you're at?
Yeah.
There's not torches near it. No, not really.
Shit. So setting it on fire would not be very convincing as an accident. All right.
You don't want to set that tent on fire because they would go towards that tent you're hiding.
Well, their eyes would be on the fire, not the two dotted figures who backed up and were running away.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Got about 20 seconds. Figure out what to do.
Hold on a second. Do goblins count as humanoids?
Technically.
They're goblinoids. But yes,
True.
humanoids.
All right. In that case, I'm going to wait for the goblin to get relatively close. As in, like if we were to step behind,
Are you going to charm person?
That's what I'm planning, yeah.
Yeah, you can totally charm these guys.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well. All right, let's see.
Alright, well, since the goblin moved closer, I'm going to give
I'm going to wait until he's about one square closer. All right. And then I'm kind of going to cast Charm Person on him. I can only cast at level 1, so level 1. So
Wisdom saving throw. Which you are not currently fighting it.
So he does not get that advantage, so he has to beat a 13.
Which has to beat a what? 13?
13. That's my spell save DC.
Oh.
Oh, thank God. Okay. That's a 6.
Yeah, it's like these first few low levels, everything is just sketchy as hell.
All right. So, charmed. I'm assuming like I kind of skittle around just a little bit so I could do that because line of sight's a thing. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So how does he respond to being charmed by me?
He sort of just looks at you and sort of tilts his head. Like,
all right. I'm going to say, you look thirsty. Why don't you go get a drink down by the water? Just being near that fire must have been tough. Go get a drink. You need it.
go get a drink. Which he says in a way you can't understand because he says it in Goblin. So he just sort of... yeah, you can wander off this way.
The water.
All right. And while he's doing that, I'm going to turn back to him and like, okay, let's go join Riven. He'll know I did that as soon as it wears off in about a minute.
Yeah. So while he's doing that, I'm going to attempt one last tug of the rope to try to
Uh-huh.
Pull this tent down. Yes!
There we go.
Oh, yeah!
All right.
All of a sudden, his tent just goes.
So, Oak and
I would like to say that she was like trying to tug it while kneeling down. She just said, "Screw it," stood up and just yanked.
Yeah. So about that.
Oh, I know.
That's not very stealthy.
I know. It's just, she knew the moment that the tent was going to go down, shit's gonna happen. So
All right.
she just wanted to kind of get these two guys entrapped underneath this tent while she does something. And
Alright.
long enough to distract them.
So this would technically be a point for roll for initiative.
14.
7.
11. Remember
I
what I was
see
saying
mine.
earlier about everyone dying?
Yeah.
Welcome to the dead zone.
So if I do
We're
this,
not dead yet.
how do you see more?
Oh god, that is a lot of evil shits.
Oh, Jesus. Please tell me that's Oak.
Oh yeah, that's Oak.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
18 for Oak.
I would be terrified.
Riven is
So this would
a.
count as a surprise round?
You do have a
Let me
surprise
guess.
round, yes. Riven has a
Yes.
14.
Oh thank god. Oh thank fuck. Alright.
And there's technically 10 goblins, 2 harpies, and a bugbear.
Yep,
Um,
and then, you know, the one goblin sitting on a beast over there. But I really don't want to know what it is.
Probably a warg.
That's what I was
Alright.
thinking.
13 characters. And I'm just going to do it as a.
13d20.
Mm-hmm. And then they don't get a bonus to their
Oh,
initiative.
there's only one. Yeah, there's only one that got higher than. But other than that, Oak doesn't have anyone going higher.
Yeah, Oak is first.
Sort that turn order. Oh god.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, we have it a surprise round first, right? So.
we do.
Good.
Okay. Alright, who wants to do the first thing in the surprise round?
Well,
the
I know,
The surprise round works off of normal turn order. It's just those that are not surprised, or those that are surprised don't get a turn.
Okay.
So Oak is going to go first here, and seeing like Riven pull the rope and pushing down the tent,
Tent.
and Locke is still relatively close to him currently.
And since the bugbear and the harpy that are in the tent, since the tent came down on them, I think they're. Oh gosh, what is it? Entangled.
They would be counted as restrained.
And so they're gonna have to spend their turn in order to get out. So.
They would have to spend their turn trying to break free and get out, and they don't have their first turn because surprise.
Yeah. So.
So, Oak is going to go ahead and, boop. He's
hoarding.
he's going to touch Locke's shoulders, who's still nearby, and for the briefest of seconds, both the two of them in sync glow and disappear with a like shining green light.
Alright.
And also the rings that are on both of their fingers start to glow as well. And Oak is casting Warding Bond. And so...
is a +1 to my AC and saving throws, so... Nice.
Yep. Also, you have resistance to any kind of damage.
Resistance, that means it's halved?
Your damage
Yes.
is halved. And as long as you're
Nice.
within 60 feet of me, you have those bonuses, and half the damage you take, I take.
Alright.
Alright. And that is Oak's turn. Surprise round.
Riven.
Boop,
Here we go.
boop, 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 boop. Riven.
Yeah, so I'm going to, flip up the canvas bit and try to grab the spear McBob thing.
Okay.
I don't know what, I'm just gonna try to grab it.
Like a javelin spear. Yeah.
Yep.
Relatively easy to do. It's near the wall.
Yep, so I'm just gonna, move fabric, grab it. And then I'm gonna book it.
Alright.
What direction? Towards the group? Alright.
Yep.
Alright. Move
Oh.
your full 30.
What? Okay. Oop. There we go.
Locke, what you doing?
Alright, I'm seeing Riven
Be like,
running back.
Set
I
fire
just saw
to
this.
the tent.
Yep, I just saw the tent, the big tent implode, and I see Riven running back with a thing in her hands, like, oh well, never mind. I guess you're joining us. And I'll point my hand at the big tent, and I will cast Firebolt at it to light it on fire, so that the things inside will take damage over time.
Okay.
As they try to get out.
Let's see, since I'm shooting at an inanimate object, do I still have to make the attack roll?
Yes.
Yeah,
hasn't-
because you can get a natural one,
It
and it'll
hasn't-
just fizzle out.
As an item and as a stationary object, it technically has an AC of 10. Oh yeah.
All right.
Um,
So that tent just took 5 points of fire damage.
Locke set fire to
Oh,
the Locke set fire to the tent. The tent is now on fire. Good to know.
and so
Yep.
I'm assuming that the ones inside take damage on the beginning of their round.
They would take damage on the beginning of their round. Yes. All right.
I
So,
have to try to get out of it.
so hold on, I wasn't done yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
As soon as I do that, I then turn around and say, "So, are we leaving?"
Oak looks to Riven, who is running up to them.
Play it smart.
Smart would be getting away.
Being smart would not have done this shit.
Well, I mean, it was your idea we come here.
I found something. I just sold it this spear thing.
We died for a spear. I feel so much better. I'm going to duck back behind the tent and try to hide.
All right.
I'm not a rogue though, so I don't have the hide ability. So I'm just taking cover behind the tent.
All right.
We died for a spear. Good to know. That makes me feel so much better.
And I died choking on a coffee.
Good job. All right. So Oak looks to Riven. Do we fight them? Do we run? What do you want to do?
We keep backing the hell up until we just try to take him out as we run? Question mark?
Want to take them out as we go?
Yeah,
Alright.
it's just whatever closer attack.
Okay.
I hope that bugbear is dead.
Oh,
Oh, by the way, there's a bugbear in that tent.
Oh,
bugbear in the
good.
tent. Good to know.
Bears. Locke's like having a panic attack.
Uh-huh. Well, on the plus side, if we have any kind of real big issues, then I can heal us. So,
Yep.
So what is our Fearbulk doing?
Hang on, I'm gonna figure it out. Oh. Huh. Okay, what's the range on this? But, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Alright, so, Locke, I feel like taking a cue from you may be a very good idea, and whoever's in that tent looks like they're going to be important. So, Oak is going to take a couple steps forward, get next to where Riven just ran towards them,
Mm-hmm.
and aiming for the big tent over there. He is going to cast. Unfortunately, I think it does it use his second spell slot, high level spell slot thing? I believe it does.
I mean, if it's listed under second level spells, then yes, it would.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does. Okay. Boop.
Oh, spike growth! I love that spell.
Uh-huh. So, Oak points over towards the tent in a very similar way that Locke did before, and just sort of he clutches his holy symbol with one hand and reaches out with his other hand like as a claw, and vines and brambles and other sorts of fun stuff just sort of.
So, 20-foot radius. That means 20 feet in all directions from the starting point, right?
From the point in which he casts it, which is the middle of the tent.
So, all those guys are not kind of screwed. Spike growth is really good against zombies, by the way. Just...
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, it's actually too small that way. All right.
Oh, whatever. We get the general gist.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Sorry,
get
I'm a
the idea.
perfectionist.
It's fine.
20 foot square.
Good enough. Alright. So, that is Oak's action for the turn, and he just sort of takes a step back. Yeah. So, Bugbear.
The fire damage.
Yep.
How much would he take?
I would say a d6
think
fire
it's like-
damage. Probably.
Yeah.
Roll 1d6. Now I'll let you roll the d6, Locke, since it's your spell.
Okay.
Just click the rolly thing and roll a d6.
I know how it works. 4.
Alright. So 4 damage for him, and 4 damage for the harpy that's also in the tent.
At the beginning of her round, it gets re-rolled again.
Oh, does it? Oh, yeah, I guess it would. You're right. So 4 damage
So
for
it's
him.
still the bugbear's turn. What is the bugbear gonna do? Gonna attempt to get out?
That. Then 3 damage from the spikes. that he's also trapped in. And then he is going to roll strength to see if he can break his way out of this death trap that he's stuck in. Of a tent. Because he can't move because he's also restrained. So he's going to have to break out of the
Get out.
first. So he's making his way, but he's having to put his full effort into it with only a roll of a 13.
Yeah, he's
Alright.
very, very grumpy.
Alright, Goblin 6, who's currently one of the ones that's in the spike growth. 2d4. Bop. Ow.
And if he wants to move it all to that, it's gonna take another 2d4 for every square he moves through.
Yeah. This way.
You did a good job.
This is why I love
Another
Spike.
2d4.
So goddamn good.
Bye-bye.
So like he tries to just run out and he just turns himself into mulch in the process.
Pretty much, yeah. No more Goblin
Very
6.
useful. All right.
This one, not that one. This one. There we go. No more Goblin 6.
Axe him from the turn order.
Goblin 7 is also in there. 2d4. 2d4. Yeah, he's gone. No more Goblin there. You know what? I'm just gonna delete them. It's gonna delete them from the turn order too. So boop. Boop.
All right.
Goblin 9, who turns out to be his turn this time. He's actually going to be smart, seeing his buddies turn into mulch, and he's going to try to get out of this crap. Which he just barely does. Yay, good. But he's running away from you, and he's in no shape or form to, in any kind of wherewithal, to try to actually wait. No, he was a guard. Yeah. That's Goblin 9. Goblin 5, where are you? You're over here. You're going to start making your way this way, and you're going to dash. Get to about there. Do. Goblin 3. Going to do the same thing. To about here. Riven.
Okay, she's, well, she's going to put the Java thing away.
Okay.
And get her, let's say, let's be smart about this and call for, no, she's gonna get her axes out.
Charge the goblin over there.
Yeah, she's gonna go right here, and she's gonna make one attack.
Smacky smacky.
Well,
18 to hit.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
Well, that's
just click on the word hand axe in that last roll and that'll do damage, I think.
yeah, 10 slashing.
Bleh!
Okay, and that would be it. Since I basically used my bonus action to put the spear away and get my axes out.
Yep. Okay. So, Harpy.
Oh boy.
She is going to be flying. She starts to fly over. She's been flying towards the main tent, and she sees all the brambles and the fire and all that craziness.
Please tell me she runs away.
And she is
Will
going
fire
to.
spread the brambles?
Hmm.
Will the fire spread to the spike growth brambles?
It
No,
would.
no.
It'd just take time, technically.
All right.
But anyway, she's going to see all this carnage in and around the main tent there. And she is going to fly straight up, like a good solid 20-30 feet straight up, and then she is going to begin to sing.
Ah, shit.
Wisdom
What type of saving
saves.
throw is this?
Wisdom save from literally everyone.
Oh, dear fucking god.
Add +1 to mine because of that boon thingy. That's a natural 20.
You're fine.
Oh. Wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no advantage or disadvantage.
Oh.
Straight wisdom roll. Oh no.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay. Goodbye, Riven.
Yeah. It was nice knowing
All
you
right.
guys.
Alright. So, I will roll for Oak. Hitting the wrong button because I'm smart.
Oof.
Alright.
God.
So, Locke's the only one not affected by this thing. So, Locke, also, just for purposes. 1, 2, 3, 4. He doesn't count because he's trapped. 5, 6.
The fuck?
That's for the goblins that are around her.
Someone had a crit fail.
They did. 1, 2, 3. The 3 made it, 3 didn't. First one, yeah, okay. So, that is Harpy's turn. Harpy sings a pretty song because she is upset. This goblin.
Basically everyone fucking stops.
Everyone is mesmerized except for a few goblins and Locke. This is one of the goblins that is not mesmerized and messed up. And he is going to be making his way this way towards the group. Locke, go.
I'm going to notice that Riven and Oak are both kind of enthralled, and that I've got a goblin coming my way. I'm gonna start praying like, shit! I'm gonna pull my crossbow out because I have one of those, and I am going to point it at the harpy who's singing her song. I am going to shoot at her. That is a 10 to hit. Please tell me that hits.
Just barely no.
Uh,
So, right past her head. Which from up above where she's at, she smirks at you. Just smiles at you. Meanwhile, the other harpy...
I'm assuming this is...
hold on. I wasn't quite done yet.
Alright, I
I'm
keep doing that.
assuming it's this spell that she's doing is concentration.
Okay, so, with that in mind, if I were to attempt to move into the same space as Oak, would that count as me essentially tackling him? Would that wake him up? Would I know this?
It would push him out of the space, and you would have to perform a grapple to tackle.
And that would require an action, not a movement action.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, Locke is kind of after missing a second, like, shit! Gonna look between Oak and Riven for a minute, and then I'm gonna run north. It's like shit, and I'm just gonna keep running.
Alrighty then.
Run!
Alright. Now...
And now we're on the
it's
harpy who's stuck in the fire tent.
Yep. Roll a d6
Roll
fire.
your damage.
4.
Does she take anything from the spike growth?
You would.
Only if she's moving, though. That's the thing.
She is moving. She's got to get out of the tent she's trapped in.
Yeah, so she would take damage.
Okay.
4 and 4 more. She is then going
Now
to
she
roll...
has to roll to get out.
Now has to roll strength to try to get out of the tent. She does not. Alright. Goblin 8, which is the goblin that is, not... He's the one that rolled the natural 1 on his, saving throw thing.
Ooh.
So he's going to go over here. He's going to wander like a zombie underneath the harpy, where she's flying straight up in the air, like 30 feet up. And he's going to use his action to jump and try to get to where she is.
He can't.
So it's just a goblin hopping there.
See,
Yep.
my dirty mind was worried he was going to sit down and start doing an unspeakable.
No.
Like I said, dirty mind.
Uh-huh. This goblin made his save also, and he's the one with the pupper. And he is going to move closer this way. Goblin 2, yeah, this one didn't make his save. This is Goblin 2, so he's going to do the same thing and join his buddy down here.
Okay.
Yeah, Alright, so... Oak. We know precisely what you're doing, Oak.
There's like no attempts at breaking out of the controls, like saving throws or anything?
Yeah. Okay. They repeat the save at the end of their turn, and taking damage would also give them a chance to save.
Alright.
But they've used whatever means necessary to try to get to said source of the thing. So Oak is going to dash and try to get to the harpy.
Oh boy.
And he's right up here where these other goblins and the harpy is. And then he's going to make a wisdom save when he gets there at the end of his turn. Because he gets another wisdom save. That's better. Alright.
You get over there and be like, oh, hi guys.
So Oak goes charging over there, full tilt, run, gets to the harpy, and then... The fuck? Shit! And he's now under the harpy. And that's his turn. Bugbear! Yay! Fire! Rar. Roll a d6 fire, sir.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, I was adjusting a few things on my screen. 1d6 fire. 4.
It just likes giving you fours.
Alright.
4! No, wait. 4! Look out for the golf ball!
Uh-huh.
Why do you have a golf ball in your bag?
Because he does. Then... There we go. Okay. So... Bugbear's turn comes up, and everybody who's roughly been paying attention, which is mostly Locke at this point, sees this bugbear just rip the top of the tent to shreds and get it out from around his feet and around the harpy's feet. They're still stuck in the brambles, but he's at least free. And he looks over towards you, Locke, and he's just growling viciously.
You sure you want to run that way?
I was trying to run away from these guys.
Goblin 9
Yeah, well,
is... he is also affected by the charm, so boop, he's running down here.
God.
5. Where's Goblin 5?
Right next to Riven.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. But guess what?
These two are playing Spider-Man pointing at each other game. It's rude to point. You pointed at me first!
Yes. He's gonna go this way. Try to get to the harpy. He's still affected by it too.
Okay.
Oh
If
no.
only I had if only I had an area of effect explosion spell like Fireball.
Riven, your turn. Riven. As per the luring song spell, for your turn, you have to do everything in your power to get within 5 feet of the harpy. He is beckoning you to her like a siren. You can pretty much take no other actions other than to get to the harpy.
Yep. So that's a double dash, and I'm there.
Uh-huh. Yeah, right next to-
Do I make another roll at the
Yep,
end?
you make another wisdom save once you get there.
Oh my god.
Nope.
Someone help.
So you're just looking at her, just like, wow, she's pretty.
Wow, who's
Oh,
pretty?
weird. The feathers are really smooth.
Yes.
I want to
So-
lick them.
Oh dear God.
Like Percy's eyebrows.
So she's
Sorry,
Harpy
that came
One.
wrong.
Harpy One, who's made the song, is just spinning and twirling happily as these goblins beneath her try to jump to her.
So wait, so she can't be doing anything?
She's not close enough
If
to
she
anyone to. She's not close enough to anyone to attack. She's 30 feet in the air.
Yeah, but she can move down when she's like 5 feet ahead, like above them.
Actually,
And
yeah,
then attack.
that would make the most sense. She's gonna.
It's only when, because it's
Yeah.
a concentration spell, correct?
Yeah, it's a concentration spell.
Okay, it's only you would have to make a concentration roll if anyone hits her for damage.
She's gonna come down and take
I
a
can't-
claw swipe. She's gonna come down and take a claw swipe at Riven.
Oh boy, and just be like, "Oh hi, give me a hug."
Yeah, pretty much. She just has to spend her movement to get there. So that is 10. She missed. Riven's AC is much more than a 10. Here? Heard? Hello?
I take
Yeah, I
10
can hear you.
damage.
No,
Oh
no.
no! Oh no, that doesn't hit me.
Right, that's what I said.
Exactly.
That's what I
I'm
said.
free, so I'm sitting there and be like, "What was that supposed to be?"
She slashes at you. Also, as she comes down, she kicks at the goblin that's behind her, that's right at her feet.
Just kind of like using him as like a springboard.
Kinda. So she's not.
It was like, oh yes, step on me more, mistress.
This is Goblin 1. He was not affected by her charm thing. So, and seeing. Skipping Goblin 4, which is the one that was charmed down there. But anyway, somehow don't have him. Oh, I didn't grab him in the initiative order. That's why. Anyway, I'll roll him in a minute. Goblin 1. He is going to come over here. Is that 30 feet?
Where?
Why is it? Oh, I know why. Duh. I'm dumb. Oop. Yeah, okay. He's going to charge over and try to smack a Riven. Try to go under Riven is what he's doing. Because that's smart. Alright.
I don't think Riven wants to ride him.
No. Okay.
Oh,
So yeah.
Like I said, dirty mind.
You gotta hit you first. Which he does
Yeah.
not. Locke. It's to you.
Alright,
actually- One thing I do know goblins can do. He's gonna run up, swing at you, miss horribly, even though you're completely dazed by the harpy, and he's gonna step back 30 feet. Or 20 feet. Because he has disengage.
Alright.
no, he ran up 25 feet. Wait, how
He-
far
he-
can a goblin move?
He ran 20... Yeah, he ran... He's here. Sorry.
Alright.
Because disengage is a 5 feet thing,
Anyway, Locke.
and
Go.
then whatever leftover movement.
Well, I just saw the huge-ass bugbear tear away the tent. I see the harpy that still has my buddy's got.
Shoots the heartbeat.
Yeah.
Set it on fire!
You know what? I have a higher bonus with Eldritch Blast, so I'm gonna lower my crossbow, point a hand out, and say, "You can stop singing that song now." And I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast, and that is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
All right, and damage. That is 12 force damage I just did to that harpy. Is it dead?
Please be dead. Oh, they also have to make a Constitution check. I can't remember what it is.
I
DC
know.
of it is.
30. Okay. It's concentration check or Constitution check. Constitution save, DC half the damage dealt or 10, whichever's higher. So in this case,
10.
it would be a DC 10.
Mm-hmm.
Which she makes. Barely.
Damn.
Ah.
I'm gonna
All right.
see that. No, fuck. Then I'm going to look and notice that this area down here is kind of devoid, and I'm gonna run back to the south.
Uh-huh. Harpy 2. She takes fire damage.
Yay. Two
7 total.
from the thorns.
Yep.
Alright.
20. And she is roughly free because the goblin or the bugbear had pulled most of the thing away, so she didn't have to roll a strength try to get out of the thing. And she's going to go straight up and get out of this mess. So she's away from all your damage dealing, stupid. That is her turn. Goblin 8. You are still trying to jump to Harpy. I also forgot to roll wisdom saves for them, technically. So...
Well, you can fix that now. You can say that they were just really enthralled because they're goblins and they're dumb.
Nope. He was not enthralled. He is coming to... here? To a Riven. Riven!
The guy with the warg. Oh boy.
You now see... yes, the sprite that I used is in fact a goblin on a warg. However, the goblin here is not actually riding on a warg. He is riding on a dire wolf.
Oh, that's better.
One that has dulled... he has dulled the spikes on the dire wolf's back to make it rideable. Said goblin is going to swing at you with his scimitar thing, or try to. $16.
That hits.
That hits, and...
Damage?
5.
5. Okay.
And you get another wisdom save from the harpy.
Oh yeah, because I took damage.
Yay, you're free.
Oh, thank God. Just sit there and get hit, like, smack.
Alright.
Fucker.
Fuck you!
Goblin 2.
I just, like, slowly turned to look at the fucking goblin that hit me.
He seems not to be scarily intimidating. He's on the back of the dire wolf. Which, it should be pointed out, this dire wolf cannot bite you, because the saddle that the dire wolf is wearing also provides a muzzle. So, the wolf is muzzled. And no. Goblin 2 that's still affected by charm is still trying to get to the harpy that's up in the air.
Rolled a fucking 0.
Did.
It's just gonna be slaughter.
Alright. Oak. Oak is going to see the insanity that he has put himself in because he ran into combat because charm. And roar. Smack.
Oh!
That is a crit.
Oh!
That was
He
a
did.
crit.
Okay.
So that's... The first damage dice is doubled, then you add your strength modifier, or whatever modifier is used for your quarterstaff.
Yeah, though in theory I would do roll to confirm, but it doesn't matter. He crit and dealt enough damage, by goblin. He just like
Caved his throat
slams this goblin's head into the ground with his quarterstaff. So, bye-bye goblin that's in front of him. Boop. Bugbear, who unfortunately cannot fly,
You're
It's
gonna
still-
have to wade your way out.
is still trapped in fire. D6 fire.
All right. Now I'm going one of those. 2.
Again.
Damage.
Again and again and again and again and again.
Just, a multiplier of 2 each time. Either 2 or 4, it seems.
And 6 total.
For each square he moves, he's a take damage from that spike growth. Not if he's holding still. If he doesn't move, he doesn't take damage, so. From the spike growth.
He's wanting to get out of here though. So
Yeah, so he's moving.
So he's gonna. So in total,
there's your
he's
movement.
basically gonna have to take. He's basically gonna have to take 8d4 points of damage total if he wants to get out of there. So you'd have to roll 6d4 or more.
Yeah. Okay. Bugbear shish kebab on the spikes.
He's just
trying to,
like
like,
walking, and all of a sudden the vine shift and just spears him.
Pretty much that's what I imagine. Like it's like one of those comedy things where like you push where you try to push a branch out of the way and then it smacks the person behind you. In this case, he tries to like clear one of the branches away, but it makes another one no longer have tension on, so it just springs up like a goddamn catapult and just sticks him in the throat with the thorns. Like,
I just
Yeah, pretty much.
as that, I would like to say, like, you know, stepping on a rake.
yeah, kinda.
Alright.
Okay, Bugbear's gone.
Goblin 9 is still enthralled. Is continuing to jump and do stupid. And hey, he saved. Cool. He sort of
Like,
jumps.
wait, why am I...
Hmm?
It's like, wait, why am I drooling over her? I should be kicking the crap out of these people in front of me.
Yeah. Goblin 5. He was not infected by it. He was infected by it actually. So he's gonna do the same thing.
Push his pet.
Oh, he's free too. Yay. Riven, you're also free. And you have a puppy goblin, another goblin, and you have several goblins around you and a harpy that's right in your face.
Oh, I can reach the heartbeat, can't I?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
came down to smack you and missed.
Yeah, no, I like the fact that she has goblins under control. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 attacks against this riding goblin.
Okay. Are you focusing on the goblin or the dog?
Goblin.
Okay. Swing away.
10.
10 against goblin.
Yeah.
That would be a miss.
Okay, and then the second one. 16.
16 hits.
What's that for?
As for the goblin 4 that's finally figuring out that, hey, something's going on.
Oh,
I mean, the one that I charmed.
Yes.
8 slashing to the goblin on the top.
Oh, okay. So goblin no longer on top. Goblin gone.
Now we just have a muzzle puppy.
You have a muzzle puppy.
Well, we have a puppy who's not muzzled.
Well, the one that the goblin was riding was muzzled.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave his token there, but he's effectively dealt with. Yep.
Okay.
Then it's the harpy that was singing and is now in your face.
Okay.
Yeah. So she looks over to where the bugbear has impaled itself on the spikes. And she just does this sort of swooping gesture to the side.
I just like to think, just real quick, that the bugbear died, and with all those goblins, it's just, I imagine all these, like, vine tendrils are just, like, moving around and shifting. And they're just, they're crowd surfing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So she's going to go to the side of her hilt and pull out a, like, basically makeshift wooden club and smack at Oak and smash with her offhand claw. Multi-attack, yay!
Club attack.
That does not hit Oak. And
I'm guessing this poor little tent down here is...
that's pretty much gone, yeah.
Yeah.
That also does not... what the crap? Okay.
Yay! We're getting lucky tonight!
Okay, Goblin 1. He's the only one that has not saved of the 3 that didn't. So he is going to try to make his way closer to the harpy, which has got a Riven in between. Oh no, he was the one that attacked Riven earlier. That's right. So he's going to smack at Riven again. Try to.
Okay.
Is 15.
That hits.
Okay. And 7
7 damage. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, guys.
And seeing that you just fricasseed his buddy on the back of the ward, he is gonna back that freak up. Yeah.
Did he use disengage?
He did indeed. Yep.
Alright.
Yeah, he's running over this way, and sees starts to be running away, and then sees a much more squishy-looking target over that way. Locke, your turn.
So this goblin here is charging at me.
No, he was charging away and was starting to go towards the river, and then sees you and stops and gets a smile on his face.
Come kill these birdie. Or at least the goblins that are over here.
Well, I'm going to look at the goblin who's looking at me. I'm going to point a finger at him and just say, no, and cast Dissonant Whispers. He needs to make a wisdom saving throw, needs to beat a 13.
Yay. Nope.
Alright, so that is 3d6. 9 damage to that goblin.
How does Dissonant Whispers kill something?
It's psychic damage. Like, the way I've always imagined it is it fills their mind with these eldritch and horrifying whispers that cause immense mental agony, and if it does enough damage, it can cause, like, internal bleeding, like, brain and shit.
Just imagine.
If it kills them, their
coming-
gray... Yeah,
Yeah,
their
just-
gray matter is going to start dribbling out from their eyes and out of their nose and their mouth and shit. Like, it liquefies the brain if it kills them, basically.
Okay.
So he saw me, smiled, and
He
is
died.
no more.
Yep. You're just like, no, and gone.
Yep, he's a corpse. And with that, I will then move. I'll move right here.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
RP2, who is flying in the air currently, she flies over your fly speed, I think 40 or such, something. She is going to make her flight over this way, not have to worry about any of the brambles or any of the weird crap. And the other harpy, and see that she's failing to hit both of the people that she's down below near, and sort of just screech at her in a voice that's different than the ones that you've been hearing, but still not common. Not goblin, not common, not goblin, something different. And
deep speech?
Huh? No. She screeches down at her, and the two of them are starting to have this sort of argument spat, but the other harpy can't. She's just like, and the song goes away because she's not singing anymore. Goblin. Which one? Yeah, this goblin. This goblin's going to smack at Riven. Bop. Yeah, Riven. 8.
8 misses. Or is it 8 damage?
It's an 8 to attack. Missed.
Yeah, miss.
So, guess what, Locke?
Oh no.
You do have its movement. Good. Alright. So, hi. He growls at you intensely and just evil magic in common and swings at you with his scimitar.
Okay, that hits.
That does in fact hit.
Luckily, I have resistance to damage, so
You do
the next
indeed.
number is in half.
Ah!
So I only take 4.
Yep, so you take 4 and Oak takes 4.
It's like he said, evil magic, and then tries to club me. I take a step back, evil creature! While pointing back at him.
Well, he says evil magic and slashes at you with a scimitar, but yeah.
Yeah, so like when he gets me and like I'm staggering back from the blow, I point back, it's like evil creature.
Yes.
Little rebuke.
And you take 4 damage, and so does Oak. Riven, since you didn't necessarily see the magic that Oak did earlier, you see a spark of green and then red, and Oak is just from where he's at near you. And he
You
turns his
okay,
head
Oak?
back and he turns his head back and sees that Locke's got hit.
Okay.
Goblin with dog is currently just a dog. And the dog
gonna leave.
Dog is going to make a bolt. Riven, you have an attack of opportunity if you wish to take it.
What if it's the mom of the puppy we have?
Yeah, probably.
So let it go, just in case.
Yeah. If it's going away, I don't care. I have more things to worry about.
Oak will turn to face where the other goblin here is, and just sort of bop bop with quarterstaff thing. Boop. That'll hit. Deal 5. Cool. Okay.
Which goblin was he hitting?
Goblin next to him.
This one?
Yeah. Which is the first one that's took damage and not died automatically. Goblin 9 is here. He's gonna come down, not hard. This one. He's gonna come down and make a swing at Oak.
Oh no.
That's a crit. Alright.
Do
Double
I
damage.
take damage? Am I gonna take damage from this too?
No, you're not. You're fine.
Okay.
Getting how I did my damage macro. That 8. Because it doubled and then
The modifier.
8 to Oak. The Oak turns to look at where Locke is, and then the goblin that was behind him just sort of smacks him and scratches at his back with his scimitar. Then go to Goblin 5, which is closest to the one that Oak swung at that he didn't kill him one hit. Really?
Oh no.
Wow. Okay.
What?
Another natural 20 to hit.
Are you not seeing the chat stuff?
Oh,
Oak has been hit by 2 nat 20s in a row.
wow. 12.
That's 12. All
To
right.
who?
Oak.
Oh no, Oak.
Is Oak dead? Or down or whatever?
No, he's fine.
Okay,
He's
good.
very hurt, but he's fine.
Okay.
He's our healer! We need him alive!
Don't worry.
Riven, you go.
Shit. Okay.
You're right next to him. In theory, you could see how bad Oak is doing and just shove a healing potion down his mouth.
No,
Okay.
I'm going to touch him and cast Cure Wounds.
Oh. Okay.
At a level 1.
Nice. Okay.
So 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier.
9.
That is a 9.
Nice.
Oops. Ignore
Oh.
that.
Yep.
So,
Okay. That was
you-
my action.
you heal him for 9.
And I'm gonna take my bonus action and swing at the harpy. Yeah. Swing at the harpy since she stopped singing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
That is a miss.
That was a
critical
natural
failure.
1.
All
Oh
right.
no.
Oh god.
Roll damage.
Oh no.
shit.
Oh no. Oh no.
Ah!
Oh no. Next.
I'm not that kind of DM. You slash at the goblin that's at her feet and kill him.
Oh. Okay.
Ow! I just like hop up and swing down. Wait, no, I put a hand on Oak and then just use him to jump up, and it just like, since he's badly hurt, just kind of almost cripples under me, and I miss.
Yeah.
I just hit the goblin.
Comes down on the head of the goblin in front of you. All right.
There we go.
I'm like, oh, okay,
Okay.
that works.
Alright. So, Harpy 1, who was singing before and was interrupted by the other Harpy, is continuing to argue and just...
Didn't even
And-
notice I swung at her.
No, she didn't. And she starts to fly up to try to get away. Both Oak and Riven get an attack of opportunity on her.
Yes. Oh, wait, do I have it?
Didn't get a crit, but I did hit her.
Yeah. I
That's
did
a
hit
hit.
her, And I would like to use my Colossus Slayer. When I hit a creature with a weapon attack, it takes an additional 1d8 damage if it's below its maximum hit points.
That's cool. Okay.
All right.
Go right ahead.
Yes.
Roll your hand axe damage and then roll your damage on the other.
So 7, and then out of the 8.
An 8!
So that's 15 damage from Riven alone.
Nice. Okay. She is
She's still alive.
just barely, and she's like bleeding from the deep cuts and gouges that you've done into her, the bottoms of her feet and flesh and all this other mess. She is very, very hurt.
So she doesn't go anywhere since we hit her, correct?
Sentinel's what does that.
Oh, Sentinel does. Okay, never mind.
Yep. I'll look that up just for that purpose.
Okay, good.
Locke, it's your turn. You got a goblin in front of you.
I see that. Let me see here. Well, I'm out of actual like spell, but I'm going to sort of I imagine I dropped my crossbow when he hit me because what fuck all that's gonna do for me in close range combat.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put a hand on the pouch that has my book, lift up my other hand, I'm going to let Eldritch Blast roll around it, and I'm going to cast the guy, and if this kills him, thematically I'd want it to be me pressing it into his face and unleashing it at point-blank range.
Sure. You're out ahead.
But that's if it kills him. So let's see here. Attack roll. That's an 18 to hit. Would be 5. Don't think that kills him.
5 force damage to the face? No, it doesn't kill him.
I still kind of like put the hand out there right in his face and unleash the spell, but because I'm distracted from my wound, I can't put as much into it as I would like, and so it hurts, but not dead.
Right. So Oak took a lot of damage, but Oak did not take more than like 10, right? If I recall correctly. Boop,
One of those attacks did 12, so
Yeah, and then I healed him for 9.
boop.
what the hell's that's 4 Constitution saving throws.
Yeah, because I forgot them earlier.
Oh, okay.
He rolled a 9 on the first one. I should have looked before I rolled all 4. Luckily nobody's in it for it to matter. The brambles and crap go
Oh,
bye
yeah.
bye.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Anyway. So Locke, you
Oh, I should have Hunter's Mark. God damn it. Ah.
So Locke's gone. Harpy 2, who is the one that's not been struck by anybody directly, but she did take fire and brambles and crap.
Yep.
She
I'm
sees her,
following Laura.
sees the other harpy bleeding, and she goes to grab her, and is pulling her for the two of them to get away, and they're out of shot. So 2 of them are going to, as a group, go flying, not including the goblin, off this way.
Okay, now we got
Um,
these goblins left.
Goblin 4, one near Locke.
Me. The one who I just, face blasted.
Yep.
I just gave him a not fun facial, so. Oh, God.
21 hits you.
No.
Oh, God.
I don't wanna, Mama. Stop.
8, 4.
Oh!
4!
So you
I think
take
I
4
just can't-
damage. Alright,
Puppy's turn. What's Puppy doing?
Puppy is sniffing.
It's just wandering, being a puppy.
Oh, Puppy is
Trying to
sniffing.
get that muzzle off.
It's oh yeah, it has to do that too, huh? It can still smell with the muzzle on, just not as well. So it spends its action over here near the water, sniffing around, and then it starts batting with its paws to try to get the muzzle off.
Okay. Now it's Oak's turn. Oak, please heal yourself.
Oak, sort of, and Riven's right next to him currently. Oak clutches at his healing symbol with one hand, sort of is clenching and unclenching the fist that's the opposite hand where the ring is sitting, and maybe I shouldn't have casted that spell. And he does cure wounds on himself.
Yay!
Boop.
1d8 plus his spell modifier.
Yep, which for him is a 6. Woo.
Oh, wow, okay.
Jeez.
I'll do it based
We're
on
level 3, so.
yeah. D8 you said, right?
Yeah.
9. Again.
9?
Alright. So
For 9?
and that is his action. He doesn't have any way to attack. So he's just going to sort of hold his ground where he's at. He's not going to give these goblins a chance to...
Actually, as a bonus action, he can disengage and move diagonally behind Riven.
He's not a rogue. He can't bonus action disengage. Rogues do that.
No, I thought anyone could disengage.
Anyone can disengage
Rogue
as
those elements who can bonus action disengage.
rogues. You
Oh.
can disengage as an action. Anybody can do that. But rogues are the ones that disengage as a bonus.
Oh, okay.
Goblin
I don't
9.
know this shit. I'm learning too.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Smacking at Oak. Again.
Miss.
Missed. Where's Goblin 5? Smacking at Oak. Again.
Miss.
Please.
Damn it!
Oh!
Daggone.
Another critical hit. Why does it keep getting 20'd?
Poor Oak.
Leave the son of a bitch alone.
Oh, that's not too bad.
6. Not bad. He's slowly healing. He's slowly getting health back. Not by much, but he's slowly getting back.
Oh, he's fine. Well, not fine, but he's alive.
Yeah, he's alive.
Alright.
I have a fallback. He doesn't.
Riven.
Hi, I'm gonna attack this out. I'm gonna do 2 attacks against this goblin.
One up above you.
Yeah,
Alright.
20.
Non-natural 20.
What?
That hits.
No, it's not, but it's still 20.
Oh, roll damage.
6.
Yeah. Okay, he's gone.
Yes. Okay.
He had took damage before, I forgot.
Alright, well,
Harpies.
gonna use my movement
Oh yeah, you can. Yep.
to... Okay. Sorry, Oak. I'm going down here to...
Alright.
Okay.
Alright. Harpies are bolting.
Yeah, they're just gone. There's no way of catching them.
Got away safely. Now it's a lot.
Alright, well, you know, now with like 2 bleeding gashes in my front.
You just see Riven come bounding up behind this goblin.
Out of spell slots, so
You're
Can't make him laugh.
so I am just going to before I do anything else, I'm going to grin at the goblin and say,
Oh, you're about to die.
and then I'm going to try Eldritch Blast again.
That hits.
That hits.
He a dead goblin.
Oh,
Very dead
okay.
goblin.
So yeah, pretty much.
It's just
as
like
I-
come up and all of a sudden the head just goes pop. You're like, oh, okay.
Pretty much.
Okay. Fine.
Yep, I just, like I had tried earlier. Actually, no, because he would be expecting me to go for his face again. Instead, I just kind of put my hand on his chest and let the Eldritch Blast zoom out.
Doing anything
I
else for your
assume
turn?
Well, once that goblin is dead, I'm going to use my movement action to fall to my knees as, like, the immediate threat in front of me is passed. And it's like, oh, God! And just lift a hand up to my chest wounds.
Which is still loosely sparkling green, by the way. Or at least the ring is.
Yeah, I'll be fascinated by that later. Right now, I am bleeding. Alright. Puppy!
Puppy. Yeah. Okay. I know what Puppy's doing. Cool. Sploosh.
Oh, it's gonna go swimming.
Puppy going swimming.
Jumped into the river.
And doing a decently good job at it and not falling down the river yet.
Alright.
Okay. So, I have... Now, Oak. Darn. Not out of high enough level spell slots. Yeah. Okay. So, Mac. That hits. And that's a dead goblin.
It's like, stop hitting me.
Goodbye. Alright. Combat crisis averted. Assuming you want to ignore the puppy that just jumped in a lake. Or jumped in a river. And Oak is going to spend his movement and wander over this way. And he's breathing heavily.
Yeah, and Locke is currently on his backside, kind of puts his hands up, just like...
Breathe.
I have
Locke.
giant slashes in my chest.
Locke.
Breathing, as you said, and done. Yes? Out of character, yes? Was that Oak talking to me in character?
No. That was DM, but that was hilarious. I love how you did that.
Yes.
Just like,
Anyway.
Good evening.
Anyway, Locke, roll me perception at disadvantage.
Okay,
You're in
alright,
pain.
I am very much in pain. 11.
Good enough. Oak wanders over to you, and you see that the gashes that you have, he has also, along with more, in the same place.
Oh, that's what that means. All right.
Riven's gonna look at it and be like, can you heal him up?
I'd appreciate some help here. Yes. Ow.
Breathe.
I'm trying.
You're fine.
I show her the blood on my hands. This does not look fine to me.
She sits there and starts pointing at all the goblins that have died around us and be like, you're alive. They're not.
Yeah, I see that.
Have a cure wound, sir.
How much do I get back?
1d8. Oh yeah, I have to roll the damage on that. Or I have to roll the thing on that.
Yeah, you have to. It better not be damage. I don't want to die.
Oh, wait. Riven's
Okay.
gonna go look. Riven's gonna look in the direction of where the dog went.
Well, it puts me to just one under what I was at, so yeah, it puts me one under my max. So I'm okay. So it's like, they're like little bleeding cuts now, but they're not like deep gashes like they were before.
Yeah. And he's just down. You're fine. Sparkle, and you're fine.
Oh, thank
Sparkle.
you.
Please tell me he says sparkles each time he heals.
We could. Anyway,
That'd be great character
Um,
for the sparkle every time he heals people.
Do I roll perception to see where that dog went?
you can roll perception to see if you can spot the dog in the river because you weren't paying attention when it jumped in there. Yep, you see it.
14.
14. Yep, you see
Okay,
it.
so it's swimming in the river.
Yep, you see a dog swimming in the river.
Okay.
The dog did get the muzzle off, though. It's sitting right here in front of the beach. Or in
Oh,
front of the water.
well, let's not head that way. I'm going to head over here to the tent. And I'm
The
going to
tent-
start beating out the fire.
Yeah. Well,
Just
I'm gonna start searching all these secondary tents. I assume that'll be an investigation check.
Yep, both of you can roll investigation.
Yeah, I'm just going to
Oh.
look for loot.
Oak goes over to
Yeah.
this tent over here and just sort of sits down. He's trying to
I'm
collect
just gonna-
himself a bit.
12.
10 and 12. Alright.
What do we find?
So, I'm assuming you're going to spend time, and I'm going to take that investigation to sort of look over all of the smaller tents for Locke.
Yeah.
Smattering of like non-used quivers of like crossbow bolts, crossbows. Most of the crossbows were actually sitting inside of the tent.
Okay, I'll take the bolts because I used up one of mine in that fight. How many bolts do I get?
I think the bolts normally come in packs of 20, so we'll say 10 bolts because it's been used. So,
All right, so I'm up to 29 bolts total. All right, good to know.
in between all of the tents, you get a total of 10.
Anything else? Money maybe?
15 silver.
15 silver. All right.
So like 10
I'll
gold and
keep
5
that.
silver. Or 1 gold and 5 silver.
I'll default to what you said about it being 15 silver.
Easier
I'll
math.
take. Yep. I'll take 5 for myself and keep the other 10 to distribute to the other party members.
Mm-hmm.
So that
All right.
so we all basically get 5 silver.
Alright, well, I'll put 5 in mine. So,
Mhm.
Alright.
All
Once
right.
this all happened, I'll.
So after you're
Also-
done with the tent, gonna go loot the bodies?
I imagine I was including them in that.
Okay. That's
Just
super
general assorted looting.
Alright, 12 for me, and I'm batting out the fire to the big tent.
Yep.
So I'm
You are
just
batting
gonna
out
do
most of the fire. Relatively easy. It's been sitting there scorching for a bit, so it's kind of at its last legs of being really oppressive. And you have a very charred tent with remnants, and yeah, it's slanted because its post was pulled out and it's ripped from the top.
Yeah, it's like looking through the bugbear in the tent.
Oh yeah, the bugbear corpse was in there as well, huh?
Yeah.
He has a two things of interesting note with your investigation of 12. He has a very sort of what is the not rusted? What's the term for like tarnished? I think so. It's basically not clean. It's been used a bunch. He has
Tarnished,
a morning
weathered,
star.
worn.
He has a morning star that is very worn and having been used, and actually has dried blood on it. You don't know from what.
Yeah, I'm leaving it.
And he also has a note on parchment that's surprisingly not burned.
Okay, I'll take the note.
Nor has it been stabbed through aggressively or anything else like that. And looking at the note is once again written in Goblin, which you cannot read.
Ah! Okay, fine.
And aside from that, with an investigation of 12, nothing really of note. You get a better look at the map, which most of it is gone because of fire. And you see... Actually, yeah. you see your a map of like the northern mountains where you're from.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that this goblin troop may not necessarily have been the army in question, but they were very much related.
Yeah. Because I know for a fact that the army was a lot bigger than this. Because again, we've yet to see an actual kobold warlord, which is in charge of their own little legion.
I mean, hobgoblin warlord.
Hobgoblin, yes. So, do I find any money?
7 gold.
Not bad. Okay.
And
Yep.
Locke went ahead and sat down against the same tent that Oak is sitting next to, kind of at a slightly different angle, just also resting himself, just letting himself catch his breath and relax a bit.
Yeah, Riven comes wandering back over.
Hey, what'd you find?
Did you learn a spell to comprehend language yet?
No.
Okay, then.
I mean, my mom has
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Why, do you have something you need read?
I just kind of wave the note.
Might do to head back to Oak's place after we've rested. Just...
Uh,
I am weak.
Do you think we can get you well enough to cross the river and then camp on the other side?
I mean, I can travel, I'm just tired.
Yes, but that's a river, so we're gonna need.
I
Anyway, let's just head over to the other side and find that pup again, and then
Yes.
head out.
Find the pup, get some rest, and move on. Oh, I'm a stand up.
Oak does the same thing. He sort of uses his quarterstaff as a bit of a walking stick. Sort of flexes the
Riven.
hand that the ring is on, and it's just. I get that spell got its money's worth.
Well, I probably saved my life, so thank you for that.
Riven's just gonna sit there and be like, and just kind of help him along.
Which one of us?
You squishy boy.
Squishy boy.
All right,
If anything, I'm brittle, not squishy.
Hey, whatever.
and then you're making your way towards the river.
Yeah, then
Make
we're
your
gonna
way
cross,
across.
and then
Like trying to find a spot to wade across, I'm guessing. Would be a good idea.
kind of, yeah.
That would require you going more up river.
Well, no, let's just swim across.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so.
All right. So roll for me strength checks,
At disadvantage, since
or no,
I'm
not
helping
strength
him.
check, not strength checks. Acrobatics or athletics or whatever it is.
Athletics.
Yep.
And I'm rolling at a disadvantage since I'm helping him. I think.
If you're helping Locke, Locke gets advantage. You get disadvantage.
Yeah, because I'm helping him move, so.
Oh, okay. So I have to roll that
Unless
again.
you don't want my help trying to cross the river.
I'll take any help you're willing to give. So let me re-roll
Alright.
that. 11 for my athletics.
It's not going super fast, so you're fine.
So-
Alright.
You can roll at disadvantage for Riven.
16. So.
Wow, that'd have been a
Oh,
natural
the other
20.
one would have been a natural fucking 20. Damn.
Oh.
Alright. Alright, so we go over and look for the puppy.
So you make it across relatively easily. And you make it to where Oak had hidden the puppy. And as you make it there, you see the dire wolf from before, having also made it across, and is currently sniffing in and around the area in which you guys are. Does not
Oh,
does not see you. Is being much more focused on the grass and the ground. Sort of just
Locke is immediately going to stand perfectly still.
so as Riven, she's just gonna watch and be like, "Oh, well then."
I'm just trying not to startle the direwolf.
Yep, me neither.
um
I'm gonna look around and see if I can spot the puppy.
Yeah.
oh yeah, the puppy's nearby. Um he
Like, what is the puppy doing?
he sees, he's sort of snacking on the meat, what little meat is left at this point. Of what Oak had given him previously out of the meat bag pouch thing. And he's just sort of looks up, sees you three, and then sees the dire wolf off in the distance. And yeah. Oak sort of gonna look. Think it's safe to say that that dire wolf is Pup's mother.
Yeah.
Um,
I am almost tempted to minor illusion a big arrow, glowing arrow, just pointing at the puppy for the direwolf to see.
would you do that?
What?
Why would you do that?
So that the mom would realize, hey, my little baby is right there. I can go say hi and save him.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like and I like subtly point the mother to her baby, so that she won't eat us for being a top possible threat.
Riven's gonna get another piece of meat and go to the puppy and make another handling check. And this time she's gonna like kind of
I'll give you
crouch
advantage.
down
It's
a little
used.
bit, and
I'll give you advantage. He's used to you now.
because I've been feeding it. And I'm just gonna just kneel down and just like hold the meat out to him.
21.
21.
Okay. He's snacking away on the meat.
And she's going to whistle at the big doggy.
Get the mother's attention.
Yep,
All right.
I would move you two.
Oh, I'm not.
You are too
Uh,
close to me.
Oak
Back up.
is relatively close by. I can talk to her. She's probably not in the greatest of moods either. So.
That's why I'm telling you guys to back up.
All right. Fair.
All right, yep, Locke will slowly back away.
All right.
No sudden moves.
And
Sure.
Riven's just gonna sit there and wait until the mother comes up to see the baby.
Oh yeah.
And when she does, Riven's just going to back up.
Mother comes up, looks to the baby, or looks to the pup, sort of nuzzles up against him. Seems very happy.
Sounds good.
And then Oak does a sort of his holy symbol sparkles for a second, and then there's some yips and barks temporarily or intermittently for a moment between the two. That you cannot understand.
Of course not.
Where is it? I need. When using speak with animals, you use the normal stuff instead of handle animal because, yeah.
Oof.
Need something. This one. Boop.
Oof.
Okay. There's a bit of jabber between the two. And then Oak gives a smile. He's still sort of holding at his side. Riven?
So, shall we go make camp?
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
What were you talking about?
He smiles a little bit.
Probably make sure that we can pass safely without dying.
No.
You know, that's useful. As we were
Good.
just in a battle.
Yeah. Those two aren't going to hurt us.
Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and make camp.
Do that. And we go and we sit down to make camp for the night. It is relatively close to evening
And-
anyway at this point, so.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna sit there and be like, yeah, and again, last watch.
Mm-hmm. Oak.
I would like to point out, like, when Riven just, like, sets her bedroll down, she just flops out and just, like, out.
How tired are you, Locke?
I'll go second.
Yes, but how tired are you?
Exceedingly.
Um,
I haven't
So-
been in very many fights before, so
so,
the only ones I can think of off the top of my head are the last two I've been in with you two nearby. So, aside of that, it's mostly just been running.
And
Oh.
so we're getting a long rest.
yeah, everyone's getting a long rest. Well, mostly everyone. So, yeah, you rest a little bit for the night. Perception check for Oak for his watch. Okay. Nothing's in or around for Oak to really be worried about. And as most of the night goes away, Riven's woke up for her watch by Oak.
Wait, I thought,
You're right. Oak didn't wake Locke up.
why? It's not my second one. It's not my time of one. Leave me alone. She just, like, groans, like.
I figured he'd need his rest. Besides, we're going to be resting at home anyway. I don't see us getting attacked by anything else.
Yeah, sure. I will get up then.
By the way,
She is actually not happy that she's getting up to take watch now.
no. She's taking watch when she would normally.
Oh,
Wait,
you covered
what?
my watch? Okay.
Oak didn't wake Locke up for his watch. Oak stayed awake for it too.
Oh. Okay, then she's not so grumpy anymore.
So I thought.
Okay.
For Locke's benefit, he has nothing to say about it. All he does is he gets a literal full night's rest. He's not woke up at all until sunrise.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm guessing, no. Yeah, no, he would get a partial rest.
Yep. And you sort of realize by position of the moon and stars that he's waking you up instead of Locke. but this is the time you would have woke up normally. You know enough about nature and the world around you to figure that out.
Yeah. She just shrugs and like gets up like all just
By the way, Riven, you seem to really care about the dire wolf pup. I mean, you more or less jumped into a river and you didn't even know what it was at the time.
I saw the bag moving, okay?
Right. I know you like animals. I do too.
Yeah.
And
I have respect for animals. They deserve to live as much as we do, but
thought you might think that. I saw a glint of something the other morning. I thought that might be the case. So, do me a favor. When you're set up for your watch and you're next to the like the fire and everything, give out just a whistle, like a beckoning whistle.
Why?
You'll see.
That's gonna wake you. That's gonna wake you both up.
Well, Locke's a heavy sleeper. He'll be fine.
You sure about that?
He shrugs. I need a nap anyway. Doing 2 watches is not a good idea. I'm gonna be out like a light.
You should let him take his watch. Since
He's
we're
already
heading back to the village anyways.
Oak's already asleep.
Oh god damn it. She just sighs. And she's gonna begin her watch.
Perception check.
Okay. 16.
Cool. Do you do any kind of anything? Do you whistle or anything?
She like waits a bit and then she like rolls her eyes and then just gives a whistle.
Just for the heck of it, how loud do you whistle? It's like, is it like a begrudging thing, or do you whistle, or?
No, he said a like calling for whistle, beckoning. So it's kind of loud.
Okay. Perception check at disadvantage, Locke. No, you're fine.
6.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're fine.
Okay, so he's out.
Out like a light.
I'm out.
He just rolls over.
Uh-huh.
Black
Alright.
book.
Black book.
So, yeah. So,
He's snuggling the black book like a teddy bear.
No, it's in a pouch.
snuggling the pouch like a teddy bear.
I've been sent to the bear.
Alright. So, as you whistle, you see it before it becomes clear because of the tall grass and everything. The little dire wolf pup. Mother long gone. And he sort of bounds up to you, tail wagging happily, and it just sort of sits in front of you.
Riven is confused.
Where did mommy go?
Like, why are you still here?
The pack that had the meat is technically your pack and close to you. Do you have it nearby?
Yeah, I guess he's gonna go for it.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like, okay. She goes and gets the pack and opens it up and tosses a few more meat to him. Bonding time.
Yep. Alright. And The night watch is over. It is now the following
And
morning.
at sunrise, she does the exact same thing that she did the other sunrise.
She's doing the same thing she did before.
Yep, she pulls it out and looks at it as the sun creeps up and shines on it.
All right. Well,
It's the kind of thing where it's like, if you've seen this, see her do this, it is an everyday thing.
Yep.
like
This
clockwork.
time, however, Oak is very much out of it, and he's not waking up at sunrise like he normally does. But Locke, you got a full night's rest that you weren't expecting. You probably wake up at sunrise.
Yeah. Sun like hits me in the face, kind of slowly wake up. I need to start sleeping in a bedroll.
And you realize the sun is up. You missed your watch.
What the? I look over at Oak.
He's asleep.
Oh.
So either you like sleepwalk and not realize it.
Or the guy. Locke's kind of gonna sit upright, kind of give his back a few pops, and just kind of sit there for a moment, look around a bit.
You see, it's not hard to miss. You see Riven off to the side. I'm assuming back probably to the rest of the camp, looking off towards the sunrise.
Well, she's actually looking down, but yes,
Well,
she's
yeah.
like,
Her
towards the
face-
sunrise
she's-
and stuff.
She's facing towards the sunrise, but her head is down.
And you happen to see like little legs dangling off her lap.
A little what?
Legs dangling off her lap. The puppy. I would assume the puppy crawled into her lap and fell asleep.
Oh, yeah.
And it just kind of stretched out.
Yeah.
All right. Huh. All right. Locke's gonna leave her to her own for now. Not gonna bother her.
Alright.
Seems like she's having a thing. Doesn't want to intrude.
You don't know. I'm looking down. I'm looking down at the puppy. I could just pet it and be petting it.
Well, yes, but also last time I did anything towards you when Oak wasn't awake, you grabbed my ankle and scared the shit out of me.
Because she was asleep and you poked her with your foot.
Fair enough. All right, fine, whatever. After a few moments of Locke just kind of sitting there, gradually becoming bored because nothing is happening, he'll just kind of get up and slowly make his way over.
You see a very happy dire wolf pup that seems vaguely recognizable sitting in her lap asleep.
And she's putting something away as the sun comes up fully.
Where did Mama Wolf go?
I don't know. Ask Oak whenever he wakes up.
Yeah, well. Good morning, I suppose.
Yes. Should wake him soon so we can get going.
Yeah.
Locke curious about missing his watch?
He kind of knows. Or rather, he assumes, I suppose.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah, so. Okay.
You wake up, or Oak eventually gets up, sort of cracks his back. You ready to head out?
What did you tell the mama?
It's
It's kind of strange seeing this big, like, battle half-orc just sit there and call something mama.
Yes, it is.
What did you do with Mama?
I
And Locke's just
told-
kind of standing there too. It's like, yes, I'm rather curious about that too. She's not going to come back and try to eviscerate us, is she?
Here's what it is.
Oh, that's right.
I realized that Riven cares deeply for animals as much as I do. The dire wolf was... She was not necessarily in the greatest shape. She had been spending the time with goblins. There was enough... When there wasn't enough food to go around, guess whose dinner got skipped more often?
The runt.
She wasn't in the best shape. She very easily could not see herself getting along with a pup at the same time. It was good that we got them away from the goblins, sure. But the two of them together would not survive very easily, assuming that no one attacked her on sight, being a dire wolf.
Alright.
I asked her, because I knew how this wolf felt after speaking to Little One, that he needs someone strong to protect him, to help him grow. Mother couldn't provide that. So, I asked how she felt about leaving the little pup with us.
Well, as noble as that is, I would have appreciated if you had consulted with us before doing that.
Halfway through, Riven is actually crouching down feeding the puppy. It's just like she loses interest halfway through and just like, okay.
I understand, Locke. I'll keep that in mind. The pleasures of having the face of the group when the face of the group is the DM.
Yay!
By the way, the persuasion check that I rolled,
Was advantage?
I had advantage, yes, because furbolgs get advantage on charisma checks talking to animals.
Nice.
Nice.
That's why I chose to be a cleric of nature as a furbolg. It gave me a speak with animals as a cantrip. So it's a nice little.
Our way too.
Yeah, it's a nice little combo. All right. So.
Should we say that we make our way to the village and then end there?
Oh yeah. We'll end the story, the adventure today, this session, with you guys finally making it back to the village later in the evening. Most everyone's asleep.
Yeah.
Actually no,
just
it's
Riven
like
is
late
just
afternoon.
carrying the puppy.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like 12 hours, and if we leave at sunrise, and like,
Yeah. It's
depending
like
on
late
time
afternoon at
sunrise is,
this point.
Yeah, so we're like wandering in and just like, I mean, we still look like we got the shit beat out of us and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
but
We're
we're not
definitely
bleeding
not
or
clean.
dying.
Yep. And
like, we walk in. Does anyone have a horse? Because I could eat one right now.
Did you buy rations?
I did, but they're not. But they're just the bare essentials. I do have food, yes. And to illustrate that, I'll take out some of my rations and nibble on that. But I mean, rations taste like garbage and aren't really like they'll keep you alive and fed, but they
And
don't
then
taste good.
She takes the bag and just holds it out and jangles it of what's left of the meat in there and be like, take some.
I then point at the puppy who's at her heels. Pretty sure he'll
She's
rip my
carrying
arm
him.
off.
I
She's
point at the
carrying him
puppy that
because he's
Riven is
probably
carrying.
asleep. Because,
Yes.
puppies.
he is asleep, actually.
All right.
I can go
Okay.
talk to the butcher lady for more meat.
Okay. I'll just start eating some meat, I guess.
Good.
As you are making your way, and I'll end it here because I don't want any big strong responses at this point. But as you're making your way back into town, sort of a late afternoon sort of time, you see sitting under this tree in front of this building here, is a person that you haven't met before. They are essentially sitting underneath the tree in the somewhat cooler air of the mid-afternoon. Or not cooler, warmer air of the mid-afternoon because the sun's high. And they are like drawing, or appear to be drawing, in a like a little sketchbook kind of a thing. What immediately presses you is this is somebody that you did not see before, other than it being, a new face. Is this is a tiefling.
Oh.
It is a mid to late 30s male, red tiefling.
That's interesting.
And he is just sort of scribbling in a sketchbook and looking off this way. He doesn't even notice you stepping up, and that's where we'll call it.
Okie dokie.
That's interesting. Okay.
And after that crazy debacle, I wasn't entirely sure how well that was going to go, but after that crazy debacle, what the freak? You guys are level 4. I wasn't intending it, but holy crap.
Oh, God. Because we kicked so much ass there?
It was Locke's idea of burning down the tent, which makes perfect sense. But Locke's idea of burning down the tent is what pushed Oak to use the spike growth, which just decimated the crap out of that bugbear.
Yeah. Like we had to deal with 4 fewer enemies because of that spike growth. This is why I fucking love that spell so much.
Good thing I saw the bugbear and told him there was a bugbear in there.
Exactly. Yes.
I was like,
So
I
we're
did not
level
want to
4
deal with the
already.
bugbear. Like, if the bugbear got out, I don't care. I was going to go run. I was like, I got the thing that I saw was shiny, and I have.
Which, by the way, bugbears and other goblinoids are all somewhat sort of related to each other.
Uh-huh.
Rogues have sneak attack, and rogues have disengage as a bonus action.
Right.
Little goblins can do disengage just like a rogue can, which we already knew.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Bugbears have their own version of sneak attack. If the bugbear had been aware that you guys were around, which a nat 20 on Riven made that impossible, if the bugbear had been aware that you guys were around before you were aware that he was there, he was going to throw the javelin out at somebody and get sneak attack on it.
Oh, God.
But he didn't do that because Riven was smart. That was a very fun combat. That was actually really fun.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. Getting rid of a combat
no
that was technically a challenge rating 6.
And,
Shit.
well, I mean, luckily we managed to take out a solid, good chunk of the enemies before they could even do anything. And one of them was just kind of off to the side in La La Land thanks to my charming of him.
Yes.
One was off in La La Land from you. We were lucky that the harpy affected a lot of goblins.
Yeah, that would have gone a lot worse.
That's why I did not attack the harpy when she was next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Because that actually gave us an advantage. If it weren't for that harpy, we would have been overwhelmed and killed.
Yeah.
So the enemy made the fight easier for us.
Slightly. But the harpy's not all that intelligent anyway, so. For what it's worth, Riven, when you healed Oak,
was he on 1 health?
He was on 3 health.
Oh, I was like, oh. It's like, you need healed.
If he had not been healed, he would have went down when Locke took damage next turn.
Oh, God.
Because he had only 3 and Locke took 4, and so would he.
Was that a special item that he had? You said it was familiar.
Which one, the spear?
Yeah, the spear javelin thing.
Whatever name you want to give to Riven's village. Whatever you want to decide that
Okay.
whatever you want to decide that is. And then like colon or apostrophe like in a possessive javelin. It's a javelin from your village.
Oh.
That's why it's familiar.
Hmm.
You don't know whose it is, but it reminds you of some of the javelins that some of the other hunters used.
Yeah.
Alright. So, we'll end that there. It was great fun. We had a fun combat. I think I'll do the last half of the sign out. Brian, you can do the first.
And the sign out is basically just next time on so and so.
This has been Shadows of Gradiriel.
Okay. Give me a cue.
Go. Sure.
This has been Shadows of Gradiriel.
Join us next time. The group heads home, in quotes, after such a dangerous fight with the goblins. What are they going to come across next, and what is up with the weird tiefling? We'll find out.